Chapter 45:12. Chapter 45:12. Hey, congratulations to the player Dragon flying, killing the Tongxian corner battlefield. 23,000 people, gaining 110 billion yuan, Ling Yunji 10 billion, and Violent 1 point. Hey, congratulations to the player to get the imprint of the immortal 23,000. The system sound appears, but apart from experience, nothing else. As for the imprint of the immortality, it is only a form of systemic task. With the appearance of the immortal imprint, his number of characters began to change from 90,000 to 67,000. In other words, a mark represents a person's head. And as the entire ninth battlefield was completely destroyed, the will that had come to this world before was also collapsed, and even the power of the band voids disappeared. 110 billion? Sure enough, the copy is really a holy place to brush. This is the beginning. According to this so-called battlefield rule, the rest will be stronger, but also means that the experience will be more. Longfei thought in his heart, his eyes flashed. Experience has never been too much. Originally, after the promotion of the super great consummation, Longfei's experience has already increased by 250 billion, and now there are 110 billion. Distance to 800 billion and further. Even Longfei feels that as long as the 90,000 kills are completed, they can be upgraded. Thinking of this, Longfei's heart moved slightly, step out, and disappear directly on the ground. At this time, in the center of Tongxian Road, a figure the body descends directly from the sky. Starting from the third battlefield, Chushanhai, one after another came down. Haha, sure enough, I know that this is the case. We must be the first to come to our classmates. Yes, they're brothers and sisters. Everything is a cloud. What dark, mysterious demon? What is on the water side is a joke. 10,000 people, a whole 10,000 people. 10,000 mountain disciples. No one fell. It can be said that the entire battlefield was handled by Chu Shanhai. With the mountain Haizong disciple, Enron returned. At this moment, the people belonging to Shan Haizong are all excited. This time, they can survive suddenly, which shows that they have the opportunity to enter the next leg. A closer step closer to the chance they want to get. Chu Shanhai's face is also a proud face. His eyes locked in a huge stone monument in front of him. The entire stone monument stands between the heavens and the earth, extremely mysterious. On the whole stone monument, it is also the glory of the glory. The road is forever cast. People are very yearning. Similarly, with the appearance of Chu Shanhai and others, above the entire monument, there is also a line of words, like a sheet metal. The third battlefield, Chushanhai, 20,000 enemy. Incomparably distinct, it is like a military medal recorded in the case. At this time, a figure flickers, directly breaking the sky and descending with the Supreme King. Then, another magicality came. Rumble, rumble. Very violent, very mad. It is as if they're the kings who dominate the entire Tongxian Road. For a moment, the people of Shan Haizong changed their minds one by one and became nervous. The same is true of the people of the Dark Emperor. When they first arrived, they burst into laughter. Ha ha ha! The people of Shan Haizong are simply weak and terrible, and there are demon people, and on the water side, these people are simply serving food. Well, is the rookie of Shan Haizong already out? I don't think so. I still have a bit of a look. When the people of the Dark Xianma Zone come out, they're directly opposite each other. Originally, two people would not be able to deal with it. Meeting is a life and death vendetta. Nowadays, this contradiction has completely broken out on this Tongxian Road. There is no scruples. The disciples of Shan Haizong were extremely ugly at this time. Immediately, some disciples could not help but open their mouths. Dark Xianma Zone is really arrogant. Then how do you guess the second coming? Can you name it on the monument? A group of self-righteous idiots. Can't you see that Shan Haizong is the first to go out of the battlefield? The magic road town, the town hammer, a group of idiots. The disciple of Shan Haizong did not hesitate, and he spoke directly. Chu Shanhai's eyes at this time also looked at the disciple of Jinshi and the Dark Emperor. The magic is mysterious. This day is finally here. Chu Shanhai said, "What about that? When you are not my opponent, now you can love this Tongxian road. What can you do?" The magic sense, Xian smiled slightly, and the corner of his mouth flashed a sinister charm. In the eyes, the magic man's flashed, extremely conceited. It seems that even the Chushan Sea has never been seen in the eyes. Hey, it was the beginning. Did you think that I'm still the former me? Too naive. At the level of you and me, can a miss be considered eternity? The magical sense, the original words are still valid. This pass on the road is your death. The Chushan Sea is in a chaotic atmosphere, and it is obviously extremely disgusting to the attitude of the magic sense. Yes? Then I will wait for you. I remember I said that next time I meet, I will let you know who is invincible. The magical feelings are not taken for granted, and the scorpion moves, and the cold light bursts. Chushan Sea is burning in anger. But in the face of such arrogant magical mystery, there is absolutely nothing to do. However, the thoughts turned. Chu Shanhai's gaze directly swept to the Tongxian monument. Suddenly, the mouth sneered again and again. Ha ha ha. Ridiculous. But only in the battlefield killed more than 10,000. And this legend, directly killing 20,000 and breaking. What do you use to compare? Chu Shanhai smiled coldly. At this time, the talents noticed the numbers on the monument. I saw it under the third battlefield before the mountain. Jumped directly out of a number. The fifth stop. The magic sense Xian, the enemy 10,000. In an instant, along with this string of numbers. The people of Shan Haizong suddenly sneered. Ha ha ha. What do you say about yourself? It's not forcing. Tongxian Monument will not deceive people. A group of people who are enchanted dare to arrogate in front of me and take their own insults. A voice, the people of Shan Haizong suddenly sneered. On the other hand, the Dark Emperor at this time is a red face. But the magical sense, but there is no slightest intention. It seems that this number is not a cold. Chushan Haishin is proud of it. Watching the magical feelings of silence, the heart is more proud. But at this time on the monument, the brilliance flashed again, and a dark golden light suddenly began to flash on it. Then, a line of words appears directly. The sixth battlefield, Long Fei, enemies 21,000. And with it, the two figures came directly from a void. It is Long Fei and Jianma. There are only two people. At this moment, Chushanhai's face was frosty. Similarly, the gaze of the magical sense is also suddenly seen between the dragon flying, the eyes are slightly stunned, and the killings are bursting. At this time, the gaze of Long Fei also saw the Tongxian monument, but just glance at the understatement and stop going. It seems that there is absolutely no interest in the content on this monument. Chapter 45:13. Chapter 45:13. The name of dragon flying flashes above the monument. Very violent. Between the infinite brilliance and flashing, the names of Chu Shanhai and Mao Xian are crushed together and become the only one on the entire monument. Not only that, because the emergence of Long Fei, the whole scene suddenly became extremely cold. The quarrel between Shan Haizong and the Dark 96 Xianma Zong also suddenly dissipated. The two factions are vying for the front, and there must be one party that is a strong party. But now, the name of Long Fei has appeared, and it has directly crushed both sides, becoming the most dazzling presence on the monument. They also argued about a fart. Brush it. Also at this time, the number of figures fell from the sky. Breathing and temperament, enchanting. Then, Tongxianbei changed again. The fourth battlefield, the Dragon King, the enemy 40,000. The scarlet light directly removes the monument. Huangyao is the hinterland of Tongxian Road. The sky is shining, it's incredible. Ha ha ha, 40,000, Tianlong Wang Nyobi. What the demon, what three, in front of the Tianlong King is a slag. My dragon is born. Who is fighting? The person who spoke, standing next to the Dragon King, is also a member of the dragon. The whole body is full of violent cruelty, fierce. And behind him, Thousands of dragons are the same. The power of the whole body is violent, and the breath can be crushed. At this moment, even Chu Shanhai, the magic sense Xian, and other people are changing their faces. Dragon King, how did you get into Tongxian Road? Chu Shanhai asked coldly. This question, everyone's eyes are in the dragon. Since ancient times, there has never been a precedent for dragons to enter Tongxian Road, because this is the 3 road rules jointly developed. The dragons are too strong, and they cannot let the dragons enter the Tongxian Road. Numerous times, this intersection of Tongxian Road, divided into 3, is only in the hands of the 3. It has never left a chance for the dragons. Even if there's a close relationship between Shan Haizong and the dragon, it is absolutely impossible to hand over this Tongxian Road and share it with the dragon. Therefore, the first question to be questioned is Chu Shanhai. Chu Shanhai, do you think that others respect you as a legend of mountains and seas? Are you really arrogant? How do I want the dragons to get you to ask questions? If you don't look at the offerings of your mountain Haizong for these years, just rely on what you just said, it is enough to sin. Tianlong Wang said coldly, his eyes glimpsed, and he did not see Chu Shanhai in his eyes. Don't let go. Dragon King, are you really a dragon before the ages? Now the times have changed, not the era when your chaotic dragon was in the first place. The arrogance is accelerating the process of the demise of the dragons. Chu Shanhai screamed. Yes, Tongxian Road is also a group of animals that you can come in. The way to pass the ferry is that you can get. Don't forget how the ancestors of your dragons wanted to break through the road to the road before the ages. Now, do you still want to repeat the same mistakes? The magical Xian also said. At this moment, the Chushan sea ice was released. Obviously, the dragons are strong enough to make them fear, so at this moment, they are extremely magical and have reached a front. And Longfei is as usual. As if for the dragon to appear, there is no slight feeling. However, Jianma could not bear it at this time. Originally, he had the blood of the dragon. After getting the power of Longfei, it is even more leaping, and the blood is back to the ancestors. Become a dragon and build a horse. At this moment, I saw that the dragons were targeted, and the heart was naturally unhappy. A group of pretending to commit crimes, just because you're also targeting the dragons? My master will be able to destroy you all. With a roar, Jianma couldn't help but say. But what surprised him was, in a word, the dragons simply don't buy it. Who is this? A district demon. Also want to hold the thigh of our dragon? No, there's still a little bit of my family's blood. But that's it, the area is just a hybrid. Suddenly, a sneer of trepidation appeared. They simply don't put the horse in their eyes. Jianma's eyes suddenly disappeared, and a sense of compassion suddenly came to mind. Countless times, he once imagined that if he activated his blood, he would return to the dragon with no glory. Especially after the blood of the dragonfly. I imagined that one day I could be recognized by the dragons in the form of a king. After all, only he knows the power of Longfei's blood. However, I did not expect it at all. It will be the result of today. The dragons not only did not recognize, but instead looked disdainful and disgusted. Fart. The blood of Laozi is not something you can match. Businessly, we all have to give ancestor to our father. A group of small scorpions dare to be rude to Laozi. In an instant, the horse is angry. The anger broke out instantly. The face of a dragon has become extremely embarrassing at this time. No one has ever dared to be so crazy in front of them. Even the 3 major people, they are not in the eyes, and now they're despised by a horse that only shows a little dragon blood. Directly let them not tolerate. Looking for death. It's a big joke, and the 3 people don't dare to ruin my dragon. I don't want to give you a chance to be awkward. I really don't know how to live and die. If this is the case, then give you a death sin. Tianlong Wang said coldly. A look of pride. Eyes are as high as above. At this time, the people of Shanhai Zone and the dark Xianma Zone also began to laugh. In their view, whether it is Longfei or the dragon, they're all enemies. The enemy is for tat. They naturally enjoy it. Hey, self-righteous things want to smash the past. I can't think of being disgusted. It's a shame, Just like his master, it's a waste. In front of my legendary disciples, I'm afraid to put it. It's also a big slogan, and we're killing us, shameless things. The disciples of Shan Haizong spoke ironically. The dark, mysterious people are also indifferent. Indifference also took a bit of killing wild vision, and the eyes were cold. But also at this time, Long Fei is a smile. In one step, Long Fei came straight out. He does not know what the dragon is. He knew nothing before the dragon flew. Just a bottom-level repairer. When he appeared as a dragon, he was only here. In the secret room, Long Fei asked him to let him enter the road to Tongxian Road in his own capacity. It is to tell him a belief. That is, his brother, no one can insult. Therefore, at this moment, Long Fei moved. The corner of the mouth outlines a sneer and looks at the Dragon King. You are very good? When you swept a battlefield, did you feel invincible? Who gives your confidence? Come and condemn my brother? Chapter 45:14. Chapter 45:14. Dragon's word is a word. His eyes are fabulous. The power of the road and the sea is flooding out, and it is directly volleyed in one step. Tianlong Wang's face was condensed, and it seemed to feel the breath of Long Fei, and his mood changed slightly. But in a flash, I recovered the cold color and said silently, "What about that? This seat is a dragon king. He is just a kind of dragon with the blood of my dragon. Don't just convict him. It is his honor to let him die." Tianlong Wang said that his face is still full of disdain. Yes, that lousy will let you know today. You dragons in front of lousy are more than a finger of lousy. Long Fei said coldly. Between the steps, the palm of your hand slammed down. Rumble. The power of the mountains and seas broke out from the palm of one hand. The power of killing and killing the town broke out. Hey, a dragon that had just insulted Jinma was directly smashed by Long Fei. The dragon's horn at the top of the head was flattened by a dragon's palm, and the entire faucet was directly cracked. The pieces of dragon's blood were like bare red, and they fell to the sky. Roar! Roar! Suddenly, the dragons rioted. They did not think that Long Fei was so violent, and said that the shot was shot without any scruples. Looking for death, a Terran ants dare to shoot my dragon. Today, even if you 3 shots together, you can't save you. Tianlong Wang was furious, and in the midst of it, the incarnation of the dragon jumped, and it was necessary to start. At this time, Tongxian Bay will change again. Brush it. A series of 3 brilliants flashed past. The 7th battlefield, Zhantai Ling Xiao, Xiao Long kills the demon 1007. The 8th battlefield, the demon Blood Demon King, destroy 320,000. The 9th battlefield, Anonymous, destroying 3,000. At the same time, the entire void is also a shock. A figure is also descending from the sky. The people on the water side, as well as the Yaozu, came down almost at the same time. But there is no such thing as the anonymous name of the 9th battlefield. It's true that at this moment, all the sights of the people are fixed on the battle between Long Fei and the dragon. No one cares about the changes on the monument, because at this moment, Long Fei has already been shot again. The left palm is killing the town. The fate of the right hand is dead. 9 kinds of mountain and sea road laws were directly incorporated into the palm of the hand by dragon flying. Booming. Every palm wave will inspire endless power. Under the command of Long Fei, the dragons were forced to fight. Hey, the figure of a dragon is flying by Long Fei. Nothing unexpected. It is the Dragon King. At this moment, his face has become scornful from the previous ones. Not only him, Shan Haizong Chu Shanhai, the dark, mysterious demons, and the Zhan Tai Ling Xiao on the water side, his eyes are changing. The pupils were tightened, and they were frozen in the battle of Long Fei. As for the construction of the horse, it is already too early to wait for the shot. The words Long Fei directly made him feel moved. Even if you were the whole dragon, it is a finger than the old brother. A few words directly make the heart of Jinma, the tide of the heart. Roar. With a roar, Jinma began to transform directly. Hey! Above the head, Jinma gave birth to a double horn. hey, hey. It is also a series of crisp sounds, just like the shackles. The original thunder, Qingguang, disappeared from the Jima body. Instead, it was a piece of raised scales, sparkling with a thunderous luster. More than that, the body of Jinma began to change at this time. From the original normal size, between the jumps, into a body. It is bigger than the people of the dragons in front of you. And then, on the top of Tongxian Road, the illusory Jiui also began to thunder, and the wind and the clouds swept the world. This moment was shocked, especially the dragons, looking at the real incarnation of the horse at this time. The eyes are full of awe. Yes, it is awe. Before, they also disdain for the construction of horses. It is an honor to believe that Jianma can have a bloodline of dragons. But now Lama has changed. They're all dumbfounded, because the atmosphere of Lama at this time makes them humble. It is like seeing a king. Just the dragon's breath. You can make them violent. This is impossible. How can you have the blood of the ancestral level? No, we are wrong. My ancestors spared. My ancestors are spared. In an instant, countless dragons are asking for mercy. A strip, squatting in the void, is extremely humble. It was the Dragon King, and the color of his face disappeared at this time, and he was silenced above the void. And dragons also stopped the attack at this time. This scene has made San Haizong and other 3 people disappointed. But at the same time, it was shocking, especially in Chushanhai. Watching the incarnation of the dragon and the horse, there is a strong desire in the eyes. It seems that I want to take it for myself. Then, looking at the Long Fei, the killing is even more violent. Jima is so tyrannical, still following the Long Fei. This also shows that Long Fei itself is very powerful. Therefore, in the heart of Chushanhai, it is even more taboo for Long Fei. At this time, after the incarnation of the dragon and the establishment of the horse, Jianma's body was full of thunder, and the movement was like a thunder and the violent violet. Master! Jianma shouted at Long Fei. Longan roared, killing the sky. But this killing is aimed at the dragon. Then Jianma stepped out and stepped on the heavens and earth and went straight to the dragons. Step on the step. And as the horse is approaching step by step, the entire dragon is like a disaster. Puff puff. Hey! A dragon is like a falling frame, and one after another falls from above the void. I am guilty? That lousy will take your dragon's blood today. Jima's voice is low, like a beggar. And as his voice fell, the entire dragon was directly transformed into a place of destruction. A head dragon began to smash. The dragon scale disappeared and the 5 claws receded. In addition to keeping the dragon body, there are no more features of the dragon. Moreover, this is not one. It is a dozen dragons at a time. In the distance, dragon's eyes are faint, looking at the buildup of the horse, and the anger in the heart is also eliminated. But at the same time, I was even more surprised by the changes in Jima. In my heart, Long Fei also began to look forward to faint. In the distance, among the dragons of the dragons are smashing, watching a dragon directly under the words of Jima, directly deprived of the identity of the dragon. The combat power is all. Life and death are unknown. The whole body breathed and whispered, "Suppress the anger in your heart. Why, you still don't accept it. Although you are tyrannical, the blood may not be noble. To me, you're the anti-grandfather. Do you dare to shoot?" Jima said coldly, and he was forgotten. Directly ridicule the other party's ridicule, retorted with an arrogant attitude. Tianlong Wang is gloomy, but can only bear it, because, as Jima said, he did not dare to shoot. With the silence of the Tianlong king, the atmosphere of the entire Tongxian Road has become strange. The 5 parties are each one. However, the Yaozu and the dragons are close together, and it seems that they have reached an alliance in general and united together. Only Long Fei, only him and Jinma. Chapter 45:15. Chapter 45:15. The incomparably heavy feeling is suppressed in the void, and it seems that there may be battles between the parties at any time. Especially the magic sense, the eyes are constantly turning around in a few people, full of haze. But at this time, An exclamation broke the silence. "Look, see the monument." Among the waterside, one of the 96 sons suddenly exclaimed. Instantly attracts everyone's attention to the past. Boom! I saw it, a loud explosion. The entire Tongxian monument directly cracked, turned into a stream of light straight into the Nine. Booming. Above the 9 miles, the light that was also transformed by the Tongxian monument directly pierced a hollow. In this hollow, a continent is looming as if to fall from it. Everyone was shocked. The eyes of dragons are also a condensate. The body and mind are tight. The rhyme flows through the body, and everything is ready for battle. At this time, above Jioi, a bridge was directly dropped. The bridge is vertical and down like a ladder. And this ladder, unbiased, directly fell in front of everyone. Rumble. At this time, on top of the 9, there was a gloomy voice. The second battlefield of Tongxian Road is open. Tongxian Bridge into the second battlefield. The second battlefield can pass 30,000 places. As with the order, it is issued directly. But the people who carry the dragons, have no surprises. It seems that this sound is no stranger. Obviously, it is not the first time, but Longfei and Jianma's, but it has become a bit of confusion. "Master, what's going on? What about the white deer kid? And the blind man? And who didn't they come out?" Could it be that Jianma's mood was tight, and he said nervously? Dragon's face changed. The fission of the immortal monument means that the war on several battlefields has ended. The opening of the second battlefield also shows that from the 3rd to the 9th battlefield, the number of people who have reached the number has been eliminated. In other words, the one that came out is now out. However, looking at the people in the place, there is no way to find the figure of Longfei and the white deer. For a time, Longfei was anxious, and his mind kept guessing. Impossible. Even I can survive in the battlefield. He will not have something. He can make me have a peek in the battle, and his means must be more against the sky. The world will not be able to leave his presence. There are also white deer and the woman, who are extremely mysterious in his mouth. How could they not be there? Longfei is in a state of confusion and confusion. But now, there is no room for him to guess more. The entire bridge of Tongxian directly spreads to the feet. At the same time, that voice reappeared. In the second battlefield, the most killed people will get the supreme artifact, having one unqualified qualification. Now, the second battlefield is open. After that, the sound disappeared. At this moment, the entire Tongxian bridge shines brightly and becomes extremely wide. In a flash, it spreads into thousands of bridges and directly leads to everyone's feet. Go! The magical sensation screamed, taking the lead, as usual, stepping into the Tongxian bridge in one step. The next moment, the bridge is rapidly shortened. That is, the people present, repaired as unmatched in the world. It is difficult to capture the trajectory. It seems that if you step on the bridge, you will have surpassed the limits of mortals and cannot figure out the general. After that, Chu Shanhai, Zhan Tai Ling Xiao, and Tian Long Wang and Blood Demon King, etc., also enter the Tongxian bridge one by one. In the twinkling of an eye, there's only Longfei and Jianma in the hinterland of Tongxian Road. Dragon's eyes are gloomy. Longfei and the white deer did not appear, which made him very annoyed. "Master, what should we do? Let's continue, etc., or go in." Jianma said, "Go. I believe in them. There will never be anything. Even if we can be safe, I believe that no one can stop them on this road." Longfei firmly said, very confident, "Yes, the little white deer is a mysterious kid, and there is a big scorpion. It is also extremely powerful, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with it." Jianma said, and Longfei is no longer hesitant at the moment. In one step, it also directly crossed the Tongxian bridge. Jianma followed closely and immediately disappeared. Rumble. At the moment when the two figures disappeared, the entire area collapsed instantly. The void collapsed, and everything did not exist. Just a moment of effort. It directly becomes nothingness. At this time, Long Fei, who was in the ninth battlefield, was also dragged for a moment. Because of this moment, the entire ninth battlefield also began to burst between the crashes. I rub. Is this special one a very lousy alive? Long Fei's face changed, directly running the body of creation, struggling in the endless storm. Directly smashed the entire layer of the condensed emptiness on the top of the head. Hey! Long Fei punched out and accelerated the cracking of the entire space. However, under the fist of Long Fei, there was another area on the void. That's it. Long Fei's eyes condensed, and the body passed through in a flash. Just for a moment, Long Fei is a figure that directly penetrates the hurdles of this area and steps into it. However, the figure is not stable, and Long Fei is directly wrong. I'm going. How do you tease me? Long Fei was shocked, although it has not lost color, but my heart is also beating. Above this area, there are endless undead. It is said that the undead is not right. To be exact, it should be a bone. White bones become a spirit. At the level of Long Fei, let alone seeing the bones, even if you see the bones, you will not feel shocked. After all, Journey to the West is familiar to Long Fei. If there's a punch. But in front of me, it is 1,000 bones. Bone, there are countless, and even have been unable to tell what the bones are. What makes Long Fei feel shocked is that these bones are still patchwork. For example, the bones of a rhinoceros are the wings of a bird and the skull of the human race. The scene is extremely awkward. At this time, these bones seem to have discovered the existence of Long Fei. At the same time, he raised his head. Someone has stepped into this battlefield. Giggle, swallow him. He is mine. After swallowing him, I can enter the Tongxian ranch. The general figure of a molar is spoken from these white bones, and the sound is like the friction of the pig iron, making people feel cold. Moreover, just as the sound broke out, these bones no longer paused. One Jun Shifa attacked toward Long Fei. Long Fei's eyes glanced at these bones. A good deep obsession has turned into a white bone, and it has become a species that is not like it. It is still thinking about entering the Tongxian ranch. Sad. In this case, lousy today, give you relief. Chapter 45:16. Chapter 45:16, Endless White Bones, Mercedes-Benz World. The whole scene is thrilling. Rao is a battle between countless life and death, and he can't help but see it. It is not how terrible this power is, but this picture. Too beautiful, I can't imagine it. Tens of thousands of white bones swept across. It's coming. It seems I want to drown the dragon. However, it has not yet reached half. All the white bones collided together and instantly collapsed, directly fragmented. In particular, their body is a combination of pieces, no stability. It is simply relying on obsession to save the instinct of life. Long Fei looked at the white-skinned army that collapsed in front of him. The heart is helpless. Originally, I thought that these big bones directly brought a wave of experience to themselves, and they were able to charge a wave of tasks. But I did not expect that. Before I started, I would have been defeated. Disappointed. Very disappointing. But at this time, the group has been broken and mixed into a group of white bones. The incomprehensible indulgence of the road broke out again. Mine. Swallow him, kill him. Enter the Tongxian ranch. Fusion, swallow him. Countless obsessions have come together again. There's a cloud over the void. So strong obsession? Is it possible to reorganize indefinitely? Long Fei felt a glimpse. Feeling the thoughts that filled the void, the eyes flashed. Boom! When I was thinking about it in the heart of Long Fei, under the entire void, countless white bones began to gather. Hey! Countless white bones overlap, and countless obscenities are mixed together. In the end, tens of thousands of white bones disappeared. But there have been nearly 100 super bones. Each white bone has a size of nearly 100 feet. Moreover, it is extremely different, and there is no way to see the appearance of life. Numerous white bones have turned into a huge hoe, and the endless green light in the eyes is incomparable. However, this change is to make Long Fei's heart loose. Although the army of the disappeared, The nearly 100 super white bones formed in front of the eyes also greatly increased the interest of Long Fei. System, view properties. Long Fei's heart moved. Name, mutant bone will. Level, to the peak of people. Description, the bones become a spirit. The 1,000 bones are inexhaustible, and the fusion is one. Reminder, the obsession is not dead. The bones are not dead. Looking at the system prompts, Long Fei's eyes became hot. Before that, the thousands of bones and the army would not let Long Fei feel no desire at all, and at most it should be harvested as a wave of experience. But now, after recombination, there is an aura that automatically catches the system. What does this mean? Means white bones or permission to become boss? Mom, can't you regroup? That lousy will make you wireless enough. Maybe I will end up with a boss. Long Fei's heart gave birth to a look. Immediately, Long Fei no longer hesitated. The body of the creation was shocked and punched out. Bang! Rumble! Rumble! Under the punch, one of the eyes just finished reorganizing, and the variegated bones containing countless human bones were broken. There is no suspense. Punch a second. With Long Fei's current cultivation and the power of the creation of the flesh, it can be safe and sound under the fist of Long Fei, and it does not exist, unless the other party has the same level of physical strength. Otherwise, I can't hold it. As for the white bone in front of you, it is no longer the case. And Long Fei, as always, punched out with a punch and a punch. These bones of the bones collapsed one after another. Even some of them are still in the process of reorganization, and they are turned over by Long Fei. Booming. In the same way, just a few seconds between the flying shadows of the dragon and the fist, hundreds of variant white bones were directly shattered into slag, and the broken white bones were also directly spilled. Endless smashing into a piece like the bones of the sea. However, Long Fei did not shoot again. Instead, stop and wait. He is waiting for the reorganization of the bones. And everything is as Long Fei thinks. Just like the mountains of the mountains, they began to gather together again and again. Moreover, unlike before, this time the outburst and killing of the outbreak is even more intense. It seems that the fusion is not just a bone, but also a remnant. Kill. Enter the Tongxian Ranch. All power is given to me. I'm going to kill him. Fusion. Swallow, swallow, swallow. An incomparable remnant of the reenactment between the heavens and the earth is filled with endless suffocation, heavy and dark, and people feel congested. But for Long Fei, it is still very indifferent. Instead, there's a craving in the eyes. Integration. It is necessary to see how strong you can be. Long Fei whispered himself, looking at the reorganized white bones in front of him, and secretly expected. At the same time, in another area of Tongxian Road, that is above the second battlefield, the war has broken out. Unlike Long Fei, this area is divided into 6. Among the 6 small areas, it is a relatively independent closed space. Dragon and Jianma, the two alone in a region, look cautious. Without it, because there is an endless monk in front of you. Yes, it is a monk. To be exact, it is the afterimage of the monk. Just like in countless years, it has already been left here. Behave in awe. It seems that there is no soul already, and the machinery is on the ground. Long Fei looked at the ghosts of the lonely soul in front of him, and his heart was lost. Very sad. Between the fists and the clenched hands, a kind of thick is not willing to breed in my heart. Master, this should be a way of eliminating this second battlefield. And these people should be the ones who once entered Tongxian Road and entered the second battlefield and were finally obliterated. I don't think that this way of eliminating the Xianxian Road is so strict, even if someone finally came to the end, fearing that the power of the mainland of Tongxian County was also shuffled, the master lost. Jianma said, the eyes are very dignified, and Long Fei seems to have few senses for these. It's just that there's a sigh of relief in the scorpion. After all, he himself is only a common monk of Shanghai Zone. If it wasn't for the avatar of Long Fei in the past, and now with the help of Long Fei, there's a chance to enter Tongxian Road, fearing that it will last a lifetime. These people, in front of him, are ancestors relative to him. Because of the unwillingness in my heart, I want to pass the ferry. In the end, it fell into a lonely soul, unable to return to heaven. With this in mind, Long Fei has a slight meal and hands are used as those thoughts. I will carry it. At the end of Tongxian Road, I will come and see for you. Long Fei said faintly, and then his eyes condensed, faintly spit out a word, kill. As for the other battlefields, it is similar to this place. However, others but not so many feelings completely indifferent to the existence of these people directly launched a fight. The picture turns again and returns to Long Fei. At this point, Long Fei looked at the 10 giant white bones that appeared again in front of him. Boss. Chapter 45:18. Chapter 45:18. Hey, congratulations to the player dragon flying, killing the bones, and gaining experience of 300 billion. The system sounds down, there is no source value, and there is no violent value. Not much for this. Long Fei did not care. Because these bones will not be human at all. This point he would have given him in his heart. Jiuliu, this is the person who has long since died and has not known how many years, not giving the source value, is also expected. Although somewhat disappointing, it is acceptable. After all, these so-called immortal bones, bearing the boss's name, but even the power of the mobs, directly returning the experience of the next 3 billion, for Long Fei, is simply to send benefits. For the door, to send the courier. Can you ask for more? However, what Long Fei didn't know was that under the endless bones, the cockroaches were turning into bone powder in a very strange way, and then merged together. However, under the sea, the whole body was submerged, and there was no way to see it. At this time, Long Fei's heart is feeling the joy brought by the surge in experience. 300 billion. Coupled with the previous 360 million, the distance is upgraded, leaving only 140 billion. On this Tongxian Road, Long Fei has a 67,000 person bonus. In other words, on this road, the upgrade of Long Fei is already a matter of nailing. Thinking of this, the heart of Long Fei's heart is overflowing. The appearance of Chushanhai flashed through my mind, and a sneer appeared in the corner of my mouth. I don't know how they are building horses and little white deer. There is that woman. I want to come by virtue of their means, and I want to pass this screening on Tongxian Road, which is easy. Long Fei speaks to himself. Eyes began to glance in this space. Just before coming here, he was besieged by endless white bones. Although it was only a farce, but Long Fei was also towed and did not explore this time and space. This time, Long Fei began to feel incredible. This piece of heaven and earth, the sky does not know tens of thousands of miles. At first glance, I can't see it. Of course, this is not the point. The point is that tens of thousands of miles of corpse bones, countless white bones, gathered in the mountains, gathered into the bones of the sea, is the most shocking to the heart of Long Fei. Above the void, condescending, all are white bones. People, beasts, and the bones of all kinds of races that have never been heard are scattered throughout the space. Everything is white. Moreover, among these bones, there is no shortage of strong people. Even though there are only white bones left, there is still a compelling pressure on it. Terror. How many people have died on this battlefield? I am afraid that hundreds of millions of people will not stop. Is this Tongxian Road once a world? Long Fei thought of it. The number of such bones is too amazing. Unless it is a world, there are not so many at all. However, although Long Fei is shocking, there is not much confusion. He has seen too much hurricane. It is too common to destroy a world. It is in the Tianwu continent that the Emperor Xian is trying to kill himself, but he is also moving to destroy a plane. In the world of the strong, weakness is the original sin. The project has been ruined, and for the sake of its own layout, many people die, but in their eyes it is just a number. Compared with Long Fei, what I want to know is that this is the endless sea of bones, and where is the way out? He now understands that he has left everyone, or, under the system arrangement, he is just a person. because, compared to others, he is a player, and it is the only one. Therefore, the first task is to get out of this endless sea of bones. Otherwise, it goes without saying that the road will be turned over, and the system task will be expelled from Tongxian Road. Thinking of this, Longfei has a tight heart. But at this time, on the bones of the sea, a strange noise suddenly appeared. Bang! As if there is any existence, it is necessary to break away from the bones of the sea and emerge from the bones. Longfei's eyes were also attracted to the moment. Oh la la la! Above the endless bones, all the white bones make a sound at this moment. Like a pilgrimage, it began a blast. Just a few breaths of time, spread directly layer by layer. Leave the middle, a huge hollow. Rumble. The constant roar of sound broke out from it. The dragon and the dragon slammed together, and the eternal life flashed into the endless black hole. I want to penetrate this endless black hole and see what it is. However, the next moment, Longfei is stunned. Nothing can be seen. There is no such thing as the sound of white bone friction, the sound of roaring, and the indescribable sound of a kind. Killing sound, collision sound, chain sound. It is Longfei. In this eye, it is also violently tortured by this kind of voice. Yes, it is the sound. There is no picture, but it is passed directly through the soul of eternal life. Meng Meng, Longfei directly retracted his sight. I am afraid that if I continue to read it, my heart will be damaged. Call. What is it? Is it unclear on the mainland of this county? At the beginning, before entering the Star Sea, it was once again known by Qiao Qiao and Wang Yunjiang Chunqiu that the Xinghai was unknown. Moreover, on the top of the Star Sea, the first moment that was dropped into this place, Longfei did feel something and saw a white figure. But the owner of the figure, Longfei, can't remember it and can't think of it. Originally, Longfei had long forgotten this. But now, the perception of eternal life under this endless black hole is to give Longfei a sense of sorrow. This feeling is unknown. As soon as I read this, Longfei's face became extremely solemn. However, Longfei believes that the appearance of this black hole is definitely not accidental. Is it because I killed this eternal bone and then led to the real boss? Longfei thought, but I'm not sure. But at this time, the entire space began to shake sharply. Hey, the endless white bones are like sea water. They start to pour and go straight into the black hole in front of them. Booming. Like a torrent, it is very turbulent. Longfei's heart could not help but feel a sense of tension. After all, this change is too ridiculous and simply cannot be guessed. It's awkward, though. With the influx of this bone in the boundless black hole, the abnormal sound reappeared. And it is extremely real, as if it is in front of you. Longfei holds the blade of the king, step by step. Finally, the whole person stood directly on the black hole, and he, in his eyes, finally saw what happened under the black hole. The throne in this corpse. Chapter 45:19. Chapter 45:19. The crystal white bones are shining with cold eyes. The light of the bones rushed to the 9 days of nothingness. In the twinkling of an eye, the whole world was honored, and the repressed expression on the endless bones was removed. But instead, it is a very heavy feeling. Oh la la la! The sound of a chain of interlocking collisions has swept again. From under the black hole that you can't wear, constantly sway and rub. But Longfei, I saw a different taste. He can perceive that this power is drawn from the emerging white bone throne. It seems that under the throne of the white bones, many heavy chains are washed away. As the throne of the white bone rises and the constant friction collides, the sound of the explosion erupts. Longfei's eyes stared at the rising throne of the white bone in the black hole. The throne of the white bone? Is there still a heavy chain of cracks? Is there still a super boss that is not a white bone? Longfei thought of it constantly. I dare not have the slightest scorn. Intuition tells him that this black hole is not simple. In the next moment, Longfei held his breath and concentrated all his mind, placed in his eyes, watching the constant rise of the white bone throne. This white-boned throne is rising slowly, like a turtle crawling. Moreover, without a certain distance, the sound of the chain underneath will erupt, booming. Hey, hey, hey. There are even countless sparks that burst from it. Moreover, it is getting stronger and stronger and more harsh. Long Fei waited silently. For a moment, among the holes, a white skeleton of the business has finally emerged. It is Long Fei. This eye is also shocked. This throne is about 1,000 feet in size. It's really a bone. There are even lines on it, and the ghost face is branded in a pattern all over the throne. Hey, hey! A burst of ghosts, screaming and screaming, appeared above the throne. Inspiring. Long Fei said nothing, directly launching the power of eternal life, suppressing the fear above his heart. Really just a throne? No boss. Who is this throne for whom? Under this chain, who is the crackdown? Question number 3. Flooded in the heart of Long Fei. You can continue to wait until the throne of the white bones lifts off and the endless chains are smashed out from below, and you still don't see any other figure. This is impossible. Long Fei's heart was shocked. The eyes are full of doubts. The throne of the white bone is stronger, and it is only a dead person. As for why, the seat that condenses this white bone is positioned as the throne. It's just what Long Fei thought. But this thought is not a hole in the wind, but the beginning of this endless sea of bones, like the worship of the king, automatically evacuated, delete a black hole. Only this point, defined as the throne, is no problem. But even if it is a throne, it is just a seat. It's also a magical treasure at best. If no one is going to sit, there is no value at all. But now, the entire throne has emerged, but there is nothing else that makes Long Fei unable to believe. With such a big squad, the bones are dissipated and the throne is vacant. How do you look like bosses? How come? Long Fei was puzzled. His eyes turned, and he looked under the throne, and he had an abyss. A chain of chains hangs down from the throne of the white bones into the endless abyss. The sound of a horrible horror is still endless. The noise of the chains, the low humming sounds, and the sorrows of countless souls are low and continuous. Yes, there is no existence. Long Fei moved and moved closer. However, it is not waiting for Long Fei to take the second step. A chain breaks free from the abyss black hole. Brush. Boom. Directly to the dragon. Rub. Long Fei's eyes narrowed, and his body suddenly exploded. Yes, this chain seems to have the function of locking with his skills. No matter how his figure changes, this chain is like a shadow, attacking. Mom, give me broken. After a few times, Long Fei's heart also gave birth to anger. Between the backhands, it is a punch. Hey! Long Fei's fist directly touched the chain. Hey! For a moment, the chain broke directly, cut off 5 sections directly. And Long Fei's hands also felt a numbness at this time. For a moment, Long Fei felt incredible, unbelievable. You must know that his current creation has reached a peak of strength. It has long surpassed the power of this era. It is Yuan Feng, and there is nothing to help. But now, this punch has only cut off the 5-section chain, and even made him feel the same. At this moment, I can't wait for Long Fei to continue thinking. A low-pitched sneer came from under the abyss. Wong. Long Fei felt the shock of the soul, and was shocked by this sudden, low-sounding voice. At this moment, the dragon and the twins flashed together, and a red light flashed across the abyss. This made the turbulent sound in the soul disappear. Ainima? Sound attack? Long Fei's eyes were a bit thicker. It turns out, under this abyss, there is a presence in the cliff. Moreover, it is very powerful. Otherwise, it is absolutely impossible to make yourself feel pressure with a voice. Unexpectedly, after tens of thousands of years, someone actually set foot on this battlefield. Hey, good fat body strength. Swallow you. I should be able to break through this battlefield. At this moment, a voice came from the abyss. With the appearance of this sound, there is a mess of roaring noise. Extremely angry. Just like the sounds of thousands of people are overlapping and deafening. Long Fei looked at Emil. The pupils shrink and instantly lock under the endless abyss. What is the dog thing that hides the tail, jumps out, and I punch you? A heavy sigh. During this period of time, Lone Fei was surrounded by the strangeness under this throne, and the confusion of the mind was already angered. Now, the Lord is vocal. Lone Fei can bear it? Impossible. Hey, blow me up. Is it by your physical strength? Although it is very powerful and has a transcendent breath. But in front of Ben Wong, it is still not enough to see. It's you. You kneel on the ground, offering a bleeding soul. I can give you eternal life, become a general of the bones, and I will not die. The sound came again, a proud batch. And here, everything is already clear. Lone Fei's eyes are bright. Sure enough, it is a boss. Lone Fei heart suddenly came to realize. When the voice says the words of immortality, it has already indicated everything. However, Lone Fei is even more curious, and the bones before the distinctness have already collapsed the soul, just a remnant. Why under this abyss, there is still a clear sense of the future. Interesting. However, you still can't avoid your destiny. In front of Lao Tzu, the boss has to die. Chapter 4520. Chapter 4520. As a professional player, Lone Fei has only one operating concept. First, the stronger boss, the more excited Lone Fei is. Let Lone Fei bow to the boss? Impossible. Obviously, this boss is very strong. Strong enough to let Lone Fei feel the pressure. However, there is pressure to be motivated. The stronger the boss, the more likely it is to explode. Ha ha ha, ridiculous. I don't know how tall and thick. 3,000 years ago, a group of people peaked, and 3 of them were true. On this battlefield, I was suppressed by my life. Ben has made 2 handrails with their bones. 80,000 years ago, the existence of a true peak wanted to kill me, become the master of the world, and finally be rebelled. Ben Jun used his bones to make a chair. 100,000 years ago, a surpassing true existence. It seems to be the sword of Shan Haizong. I made a 4-legged leg with his bones. The bluntness of the abyss continues, and one pile is as if it is showing off. In fact, Lone Fei is moving. I did not expect that the seed in front of me was such a big source. Nima, so many strong bones, made a chair. You were so afraid of wanting to go against the sky. Lone Fei heart spit. Crazy roar. In his opinion, killing is not the only thing. Even if Lone Fei kills countless people along the way, but the final kill is finished. After the death, I have to make a fuss about it, but I have never done it before. The boss under the abyss in front of him was so devastated. I made such a seat with the bones of so many people. The degree of cruelty can be imagined. Between the thoughts, the flying killing in Lone Fei's heart is even more bursting. How? Very angry? Don't worry, because today, your eyes will become the night pearl on this seat. Your flesh and blood will become the decoration on the left and rear of this seat. This gentleman has a feeling that kills you and refines your strength. I will be a god, stepping through this first battlefield and entering the Tongxian ranch. Ha ha ha! By the time, this is the first person to break the road to Tongxian, and the entire mainland of Tongxian will become a thing in my bag. The existence under the abyss is said. Then he started to laugh wildly. Lone Fei frowned slightly and couldn't help but say it. Hey, I said that you are enough. Even if there is no darkness here, don't you open your mouth and shut up and talk about your dreams? No matter how hard you used to be, today I am here. I want to explode you. As for the Tongxian road, you said, rest assured, Laozi will definitely overturn. Lone Fei said that with the hand in his hand, the blade of the kings was once again in his hands. Crazy Dragon Town angrily screamed and waved out. In the face of the boss, it's better to be direct and clean with the help of the other person's eyes. Boom! A knife is restored, and the dragon's shadow follows. The arrogant dragon swooped down directly. At this time, under the throne, a chain of chains danced and began to madly shake. Dang dang. Hey, jump jump jump. Inch cracked. This chain is like a joke, colliding with the mad dragon and breaking directly. However, the mad dragon did not set any advantage, but only broke a few chains. The spiritual power of the body directly dissipated, and the dragon scale was degenerated by the power of the chain. The body becomes nothing. It can be said that a blow is broken. Both lose. Long Fei looked calm and dignified. Boss, it really is a boss. The mad dragon town can kill the heavens, but now it only broke a chain. But the more it is, the more excited I am. Come on, Dragon King 9 days. The dragon sighed and screamed. The eyes of the eyes flashed, and the long knife in his hand whistled. Boom! For a moment, the 9 dragons followed the knife and were born out of nothing, soaring from the void. The figure of Long Fei also moved at this moment, appearing on top of the giant faucet in the center of Kowloon. A long knife is like a penalty. The king is on the abyss. Cut! An angry drink. Long Fei's voice sank, driving Kowloon, galloping the world, and heading for the white bone throne above the black hole in the abyss. At this time, under the throne, a thick black fog came. A pair of white bones came out of it. Very huge. Grab a neck directly to a dragon. A fierce glimpse. Roar! The dragon roared and danced empty. And in the eyes of Long Fei, the roar is even worse. I did not think that the second knife of the unfavorable king of the king did not break out at this time, but was directly defeated by the boss. Not bad. Julong Yutian is now being pinched by the hand of this bone. There is no resistance at all, just struggling for a moment, directly annihilating the void. This scene, let Long Fei's heart cannot accept. You must know that the second knife of the king of the kingdom is that the elders of Shan Haizong cannot bear it. Oh fear! With your strength, you dare to be arrogant in front of this gentleman. Waste things. Under the abyss, the sound appeared again, and the arrogance was incomparable. The words are full of disdain. Waste Nima. When Lousy will break up your bones, I hope you have this courage. Long Fei screamed. Not much to say. The next moment, Long Fei slashed. Boom! The 8 dragons roared and rushed out. At this time, on the abyss, countless chains also flew out at this time. Long Fei really noticed at this time. This chain is actually a white bone, filled with a sinister atmosphere and a force that corrodes everything. Booming. The dragon is rushing and whistling away. You can enter the abyss without waiting for this white bone throne. A series of white bone chains are interlaced, and the winding of a circle directly blocks the 8 dragons. Stinging thorns. The body of the dragon was directly corroded, and a white smoke emerged, and the dragon scales peeled off, and the dragon's shape collapsed. Cut! Long Fei's face is unchanged, and he has a heavy knife. Hey! The power of the 8 dragons fits into the edge of the king's blade, forming a knife at the time of the break, and the heavy shackles are above the white bone chain. La! A picking white bone chain directly collapses, turning into countless soot floating in the void. And this smoke is nothing else, it is the ashes. Oh, it seems that you're different from ordinary waste. It's still a bit strong, but this strength is still not enough to see. Your strength will always be used up. But the bones of Benjun are inexhaustible and inexhaustible. Follow me. What do you want with me? Under the abyss, the voice slowly spread. Then a white bone slowly rose from it. Boom! An incomparably strong breath emerged from this white bone and swayed the world. It was Long Fei, and he was forced to retreat a few steps by the scene in front of him. Nothing else, just because of this white bone, the light is too blazing. Hundreds of thousands of years of indulging. My bones, heavenly king, finally have to be born again. The figure of the bones is slowly volley, very arrogant laughter. Chapter 45:21. Chapter 45:21. The figure of Baigu Tianjun slowly emerged, until the disappearance of Jiulong Yuqian disappeared, and the figure of Baigu Tianjun finally emerged into the abyss. The white bones of the body are crystal clear, and the strange lines are surrounded by the white bones, just like the vitality. What makes people even more eye-catching is that this white bone army has a huge chain on the back, as if it were a vertebra, and its breath is powerful. And this chain is also the chain above the white bone throne. The myriad chains above the throne of the bone are differentiated from this chain. This kind of style cannot be said to not pull the wind. Let Long Fei's mind directly emerge from the game skin in a game on Earth. Now, the shape of this white bones is a kind of fire that escapes a clean board. In the thoughts, Long Fei's mind couldn't help but think of the scene of the Monkey Brothers' journey to the world. I don't know if the system will change, and if there are people who are summoning a group of people on the Earth, they will burst. Long Fei thought of it. Although the Earth is very weak now, but from the system side, the powers that have been summoned before are all explained. The Earth is strong. Moreover, the degree of power has overwhelmed the supremacy of the heavens and the world. However, these thoughts are just a flash. Now, the most important thing is the boss in front. At this time, Long Fei also passed through the system and scanned the white bones automatically. Baigu Tianjun, a creation-grade boss. Attributes: destruction, violent damage, blood volume. Description: hundreds of thousands of white bones are poured, and there is no evil spirit. Never die, never exist in the world. The dragon flies. This description will be very similar to the previous undead bone, but one level higher. However, Long Fei does not believe it. The description of the undead bones is also not dead. In the end, is it still not blown by myself? Thinking of this, there is a glimmer of light in the eyes of Long Fei. What about the super boss? Not dead. He does not believe it. What's more, the system is defined as the existence of boss, cannot die. Don't die, but still have a fart. Therefore, Long Fei has only endless passion in his heart, but no fear of half. Not awkward, just. At this time, Bai Bian Tianjun was wearing a shadow, and his white bones shook his arms, directly affecting the chain vibration behind him. Olala! Olala! Even with the chain on the throne of the white bones, it began to shake. Constantly floating, constantly flashing. Roar! Bai Bian Tianjun roared. A claw caught directly to Long Fei. Creation. Punch. Long Fei responded instantly with a pair of fists. Boom. The power of incomparable violent explosions instantly and bombarded. However, the unexpected results did not come out. There is no unfavorable creation in a punch, which is directly contained in the void by this white bone. If the card is dead, one step cannot be entered. It can be said that this punch is an invalid attack. Directly a huge miss, flashing over the head of the Bone King. A dragon flies. The eyes are wide. How long has it been? His attack means there have been no misses. But now, under the punch, it turned out to be empty. Hey, is this power? If this is your strongest power, then today you can die. This has long said that on this battlefield, you are a waste. No one has ever been arrogant in front of me. Bai Gu Tianjun laughed. The bones are clawed and instantly extend infinitely. Long Fei was shocked. Suddenly I wanted to pull out, but I found that the road that flowed over the bones began to glow infinitely. The light shines as if it were a designated area. Absolute field. I fuck. At this point, how can Long Fei still not know? This Baigu Tianjun means to heaven. Directly block the entire piece of void. In order to prevent Long Fei from retreating. It is also the time of this lost. The bones of the white bones directly bombarded the dragon's chest. Hey! Long Fei's footsteps are constantly retreating. Under this power, Long Fei's clothes are also directly corroded. However, although this power is strong, but the creation of Long Fei is not covered. This bone is stronger, and it only leaves a red dot on the chest of Long Fei, and even the skin does not penetrate. Your strength is not so good. Even a layer of skin of lousy can't be opened, and you can refine the old man. Who gives you confidence? Long Fei chuckled, but my heart is equally astonished. The bones of Baigu Tianjun, although not attacking his skin, but the power of the whole creation is directly oscillated, and the life is weakened at this time. That is to say, if Bai Bon Tianjun continues this power, he will be able to break his defense in a few times. But now Long Fei must fight, because this battlefield is a system task. It is inevitable at all. Either he took the battlefield and exploded the boss, or he left the world. With the power of the Blade of the Kings, it may be able to open. However, from the battlefield of this side, the result may be expelled to Tongxian Road, when his world task cannot be completed. In this scene, Longfei definitely does not want to see it. Therefore, there's only one way in front of him, that is a dead war. The second knife of the Blade of the Kings has no effect at all. The absolute power of creation is not the opponent of this bone. Now, unless you can get out of the third knife, or the Hand of the Avenue, the dragon flies center, thinks quickly, and looks for ways to blow the boss. But no matter which one, you need to upgrade. Now, unless you're experiencing experience, Dan, there is no blame for the upgrade. But now, there are only 54 experience, Dan. Longfei is trying to keep it in extreme danger. After all, the upgrade is equal to the resurrection of blood. Therefore, despite the current situation, Longfei still does not want to use it. At this time, the bone claws of Baigu Tianjun reappeared. Can't break? Do you think that you can avoid it if you're physically strong? Impossible. Ben's claws, let alone you, even those who are in the realm of real life, have to drink hate. Kid, let's die. The bones of the bones of the bones are out, affecting the endless chains and directly attacking Longfei. Hey, a loud noise. In this absolute white bone field, Longfei has not reacted at all and directly bears a blow. Hey, Longfei figure fell. The throat is sweet, and Longfei's eyes are angry. This Nima? Really, boss? System, is it wrong? Is there any reason for this Nima? I'm a professional player. Won't be abused by boss. Longfei roared in his heart. This blow has already injured him. Blood has flowed out of the chest. Hey kid, how? Just 2 times you can't hold it and want to shoot on this monarch? Let's accept it. On your way, you can't hide the fate of being the ornament on the throne of this king. Give me death. Bai Bian Tianjun roared and shot again. Chapter 45:22. Chapter 45:22 Rumble. This time, Bai Bian Tianjun also issued a very strong force. A claw swung out directly on the shoulders of Longfei. Hey, hi. Hiding again? The younger brother who killed Laozi just killed it very well. Now continue to kill. Baigu Tianjun sneered, squatting above the skull. Inside the hollow eyelids, the light flashed. Terror is incomparable. Moreover, among the glory, it is the release of a series of crushing power, oppressed. In an instant, Longfei felt a force, and he had to penetrate his physical defense, which was extremely painful. It seems to be directly embedded in the flesh and blood of the bones. Give me a drive. Longfei's thoughts moved, and the power of creation surged among his arms. Boom! The force suddenly trembled and directly shocked the white bones. But this is the case. Longfei also feels pain in his arms, and a line of blood slides down the arm. Longfei's eyes were dignified, and he looked at the 5 blood holes. Is it shocked? There are few things. But it will stop here. Whitebone Town's soul chain, lock me. Baigu Tianjun shouted, and above the back, a chain inadvertently began to turn. Together, the countless chains under the bone of the bone began to sway. Hey! The next moment, thousands of chains shaking the void. Rumble. Hey! Chains collide, intertwined in the void, and smashed directly to Longfei. Longfei was forced to endure the pain, and the punch of the punch directly hit the real fire. Hey! Hey! Numerous chains began to break, and they became smashed under the punch of Longfei. However, just for a moment, Longfei felt the power blocked. The speed of each punch is more than doubled. Moreover, even the power is not as good as before. In an instant, Longfei's eyes were full of stunned, and suddenly turned to Baigu Tianjun. Ha ha ha, do you feel it? Small waist? Are you busy with this? Is there nothing to do with you and shoving? I know that your physical strength is strong. Even if it is a general realm, the flesh is not comparable to you. But now, the power of Bunjuan's bones has penetrated into your veins. Oh, no matter how long, the power in your flesh and blood will be swallowed up and become a white bone. How about, not excited, not expected, Bai Gu Tianjun arrogantly laughed. And Long Fei, after hearing, his eyes are even more gloomy. At this moment, he is extremely uncomfortable, especially on the double fist. He actually felt that his fists seemed to be degenerate, not at all controlled by their own will. Moreover, every time a slight change, I can feel my bones being misplaced and shaking. Nima, is this especially wanting to deprive my bones? Long Fei's heart is in chaos. A messy batch. The brain has been shorted. This situation is still the first time I've seen it. Time passes by, and countless white bone chains are getting closer and closer, hovering over the dragon's limbs, and the whole body is gradually wrapped up. Moreover, the feeling of consuming the flesh and blood and depriving the bones is even more obvious. Hey, the player's life is in high risk. Please pay attention. Hey, the player's life is in high risk. Please pay attention. Hey, the player's life is in high risk. Please pay attention. At this time, the system exploded 3 times. Directly explode high-risk warnings. Ha ha ha. I feel so uncomfortable. Now, the power of the king has been imprisoned. As long as a moment, the bones penetrate your body. At the time, you'll be the 11th white bone warfare under this seat. This has long said that struggling is useless. This first battlefield, this king is the master. Bai Gu Tianjun took a step in the void, and it seems that everything is in his hands. And the endless white bone chain, at this moment, completely penetrated the body of Long Fei. Is it dead? In an instant, the feeling of tingling directly penetrates the soul of Long Fei. Very clear. But in a blink of an eye, among the eyes of Long Fei's lost eyes, a glimmer of light passed. Is the eternal life. At this time, the eternal life of the light, directly to the erosion of the power of the bones to stop. Even the power of the bones is as difficult as it is at this time. Then, Long Fei opened his eyes and used the eternal life to wash the power of the bones in his body. Okay, effective? Long Fei's heart is a joy. Forever, eternal life. He has always been a kind of power as the power above the soul. I did not expect that there is such a wonderful use. The attack of Bai Gu Tianjun is also a meal. It seems to be the change of the breath of Long Fei. Within the hustle and bustle, the green glow is constantly shining. It is also very shocking. If he's not a white bone now, I am afraid it is also a look of greed and desire. Hey, the power of eternal life? I don't think you have so much power. Ha ha ha. Swallowed you. Swallowed you. This battlefield has never been able to stop my existence. Even if it is a person who wins the sky, it will be a joke in front of Lousy. Life bones out, Bai Gu Tianjun shouted. Oh la la. Hey. After a bang, the endless white bone chains are intertwined on the void to form a hilt, infiltrating the incomparable scent. Then, the bones of Bai Bien Tianjun were pulled out directly at this moment. Boom. When the vertebrae come out between the heavens and the earth, the endless white bones are instantly annihilated. Just like the sword of the emperor, all beings tremble. I am Chow, new tricks? The devil's bell. Long Fei was shocked. The picture in a movie on the earth flashed through my mind. And at this time, Bai Bien Tianjun's technique is exactly the same. But this is not the point. The point is that at this time, the vertebrae of Bai Gu Tianjun directly turned into a white bone sword, which flashed a cold light and burst into an unpredictable horror. Even give Long Fei a feeling. If you're caught between the bones, it is your own physical strength, and you can't hold it. System, is it wrong? How is this special? Is this really a boss? Long Fei's heart is not depressed. I thought it was the welfare, and broke into the boss's nest. I didn't expect the horror of this bones. It is completely pressed and beaten. No, according to the general rules of the game, since it is a boss, there must be weaknesses. It's impossible to be impeccable. But what is it? Long Fei looked at Bai Bien Tianjun holding a long sword, his face stunned, and his mind turned instantly. If it doesn't work, he can only upgrade. At this moment, a touch of change directly came from the system space. In the eyes of Long Fei, the movement was conscious. Hey, a ray of light circling out in an instant. Ding! Chapter 45:23. Chapter 45:23. Hey, congratulations to the player to trigger the system props and win the hook kiss. Hey, with the kiss of winning the hook, the player can summon the ancestor of the earth zombie, win the hook. Hey, is the player calling? The sound of the system appears one after another. Call. In the eyes of Long Fei, the color of surprise blooms. Do not hesitate. Now that the boss is about to break out, there is no reason to call it at this time. Regardless of whether it is useful or not, Long Fei directly chooses when the system sound falls. Hey, congratulations to the player to summon success. Hey, because the summoning object is too powerful, the world bridge architecture takes 30 seconds. Please wait for the player. The system voice said, Nima. Long Fei couldn't help but give birth to an impulsive mother. 30 seconds. It is just that he can kill his life. Mom, fight. I don't believe it. I can't resist it for 30 seconds. Long Fei's heart is stunned, and the eternal life of the twins is shocked. The eternal life? Give me a drive. The dragon spirit is turbulent, and the power of eternal life, of refining, is condensed in the eyes. Boom! In an instant, the eternal life of the dawn in the eyes of Long Fei burst into the extreme. Suddenly, the above the body, all boasted. Immediately, the blade of the king's once again controlled in the hands. In any case, he has to wait for 30 seconds. I want to be desperate. Do you have this qualification? Dang magic sword, hey. The bones are open and a sword falls. Long Fei held the knife in both hands, and the Kowloon Royal Rotary swung it and cut it straight out. Boom! Kowloon roars. Infinite. This is a battle of life and death. 30 seconds. If Long Fei can kneel down, Long Fei believes that the existence of the system call can be reversed in minutes. But if he is 30 seconds, he can't resist it. There is only one result. Hey! The two forces collided and the roar exploded. Rumble. The body of Kowloon was instantly cut off by a sword, destroying the void. And the figure of Long Fei, under this attack, directly flew out. Hey! The dragon flying figure falls in the bones of the sea, and there are countless white bones climbing up in an instant, wanting to fly the dragon to the pick. Get out! Long Fei screamed and slashed out, directly blasting the white bones, then leaping and smashing again. Hey! The result is the same. The power of Baigu Tianjun seems to be impeccable and powerful. Moreover, the bone sword in the hand is also a fierce one, as if it contains the strength of hundreds of millions of people, and the fierce pressure will blow the blade of the king. Puff! Long Fei's body fell again, and a blood spit out. The look has also become a bit more. Hey, do you dare to resist this power? Don't you know the identity of this monarch? Under the endless sea of bones, the powers of the billions of strong people are lagging behind, and they are absorbed by the king. Do you want to resist? Stop dreaming. Bai Bing Tianjun is arrogant and infinite. Under the two swords, Long Fei's fight was not enough, but it made him feel proud. Long Fei, once again surrounded by white bones and the bones of the sea. However, Long Fei is no longer struggling. Let the forest bones fill your body. Come on, aren't you very hard? Stand up and fight hard. Your two knives have made Ben feel some pain and continue to come. It's been itchy for millions of years, a bone. Bai Bien Tianjun said. Endless ridicule. If he's not a white bone, I am afraid that my face is now full of teasing look. This can be seen from the faint green light that is constantly beating. Long Fei is silent, as if to give up directly to resist. But in my heart, I am silent. Install. A cockroach still dares to be stunned. In the last 10 seconds, I will not ruin you, and I will not call Long Fei. Long Fei thought of it. On the surface, I don't care. Even if these bones bite my body, I don't care. Anyway, with these bones, even his fur can't be hurt. What really cares is the white bones. However, fortunately, at this time, Baigu Tianjun has fallen into his own embarrassment and is unable to extricate himself. Unlimited loading. It seems that he has already won the prize, and he will not put Long Fei in his eyes. It is like saying that Long Fei is already the meat to the mouth. At this time, on the system, time has entered the last 5 seconds. 5, 4, 1. Long Fei counts down until the number is up to 1. Long Fei's eyes suddenly opened. Roll! With a sigh of anger, Long Fei's strength was swaying, and the white bones that were infinitely attached to his body fell directly. A bunch of chop dared to contaminate Laozi's flesh and blood. Long Fei's fist was shocked, and a punch hit. Hey! Rumble! The bones of the sea oscillate, and the infinite white bones are directly turned into fly ash. Baigu Tianjun has a glimpse of nowhere. Long Fei even dared to shoot, but dare to resist? Hey, dare to shoot? Give me death. The bones of the bones suddenly slammed between the swords and slammed into the dragon. Can Long Fei, now at this moment, do not hide at all? Above the corner of the mouth, there is still a sneer. Hey, the channel is built. Will the player call? The system sound appears. Call. Long Fei did not hesitate and said directly. The voice fell, and it rang. Under the entire abyss, a fierce and incomparable breath instantly swept into the sky. Boom! Hey! Roar! Ah! Endless morning appeared. For a time, countless white bones, countless remnants, were directly blasted. The bones are gray, and the sky is soaking. Bai Bing Tianjun is also a glimpse, suddenly turned around, and looked into the endless abyss. The green fire in the eyes also became focused. It seems that I feel the horror. Long Fei's eyes are also fixed under this abyss. Very much looking forward to. Well, this is also the legendary figure in the myths and legends of the earth. Who is it? Call me. A voice appeared, low, depressed. It seems to contain infinite resentment, and it is necessary to fight the battlefield. It's me, Long Fei said. His expression was light. Even if it is arrogant, Long Fei also believes that since the system can be summoned, it can be managed. At most, there is no attribution. It is like the drought and flood of the year. When thinking about droughts and floods, Long Fei also thought of the son-in-law on the earth and winning a level. Thinking about if they were to be brought together, who else in the days is worth fearing? At this time, under the abyss, the endless darkness of the surging, a figure is gradually rising. Extremely lonely. As if this is disrespectful to the world, do not respect the Buddha. Only respect yourself. A singularity that is unique to me is a variable in my body. Baigu Tianjun is also a glimpse, and the steps do not automatically retreat a few steps. Who are you? Bai Bingtianjun asked, winning the eye-catching eyes, a look of disgusted look at the white bones, and then look at Long Fei. Call me, is this bone? Win the hook and say softly. Extremely disdainful. Of course, but the generals who win the hook are careful. This bone is not simple. Long Fei said, I watched the win and didn't feel any maliciousness. Not simple. I think too much. This is a younger brother. It's not enough to give me a shoe in the sea of gloom. Chapter 45:24. Chapter 45:24. Win the hook and disdain. I don't even bother to look at it. Especially the sentence is even more violent. It is a younger brother. What is a younger brother? That is, he can only follow the younger brother's Lu. It looks like awesome. Actually nothing. Dragon flew. I don't know what to say. At this moment, Long Fei felt that he was weak and pitiful. I faced the bones of the white bones. Only the abused part, but when I win the hook, it is extremely disdainful, and there is disdain in the words. Between the thoughts, Long Fei was in turmoil. No. Laozi's current cultivation can sweep across the world, and no king of the world is in the eye. Is there such a big gap with the earth? Long Fei is not in the heart. I don't understand very much. At this time, it seems that I also see what Long Fei thinks. You don't have to worry about it. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. After all, you are still too young. Winning the hook slowly, not too slow to say, is like a spoon. There is no maliciousness to Long Fei, just in the words, the wind of the strong. A dragon flies. Nima, too young. In the heart of Long Fei, there was a moment of rushing through the mud and horses. I am afraid that this is what he heard, the lowest adjustment. None of them. Evaluation of Baigu Tianjun is still a younger brother. Then what about yourself? Too young, compared to him. Isn't it even a younger brother? Thinking of this, Longfei's heart is not good enough. However, it is powerless to refute. Let's talk nonsense. Let me kill this bone first. Longfei said. For the win in front of the eyes, Longfei has no temper in his heart. I haven't shot yet, and I'm going to install it first. This kind of pie makes Longfei speechless. At this time, the win hook is also a smile. It is just a bunch of bones, nothing to care about. In my time, this kind of existence can't go to the table. Winning a faint saying. Then I turned my eyes and looked at the white bones. Come on my seat. When the faint opening, like the Supreme King, control all the dark creatures. The white bones are a glimpse of the sky, and the green light in the eyes keeps flashing. Among them, one of the emotions revealed is called fear. Incomparable fear. What the are you? Baigu Tianjun trembled openly, and his body's white bones were dull and dull. It seemed that in the face of winning the hook, there was no courage to show off. Winning the gaze and turning around, looking at the shivering white bones in front of him, the corner of the mouth pick. You dare to ask the east in front of the seat? This seat lets you climb over. We didn't hear it. When the hook and say, there is no truth in the violent violet. What makes Longfei even more eye-popping is, this white bone Tianjun at this moment turned out to be true, in the trembling, gradually fell down the body. Thump. A loud noise. Bai Bing Tianjun squatted down. Losing the body of the spine is even more soft. No, Bone Heavenly King is struggling with all his strength. The whole body's white bones have basically begun to emit a black light, trying to break free of this squat. However, it is futile. It seems to be a suppression of life form. It is like saying that in the existence of the dark system, winning the hook is supreme. It is the peak of this ladder, and the bones of the Heavenly King can only be suppressed. Do not? Do you dare to say no before this seat? Give me a sigh. When a hook, step directly across the void, reach out and grab. The endless chain is directly caught in the hands. Win the hook and walk forward step by step, going up to the throne, stretching your hand and touching the throne. The corner of the winning hook finally showed a smile, just like seeing something new. Yes, there's still something good. When the hook of the throne. When the body moved, I just wanted to step on it, but hesitated. Then I looked at Longfei. Boy, come, this throne is my meeting for you. When the hook and say, reach out and pull the chain directly on it. Roar. For a moment, Bai Bian Tianjun was extremely angry. It's like watching your life being taken away. I am angry. However, to win the next wave of operations, it is even more ruthless. Well, this bone is still decorated with shortcomings. Just use the two soul fires of this pile of bones to pend. Win the hook. Understated. Then he grabbed it and held it directly in his hand. The Baigu Tianjun is like a child. Even if he wins the hook operation, he has no courage to struggle. It is as if the power of the whole body is imprisoned. Longfei has been shocked at this time. Looking at the winning hooks one by one like taking a bag, the two green and head of the bones are taken out and then pressed on the seat and pressed directly. Come on, take control of this throne. This bone is for you. It is life and death. It is up to you to control. When the hook and say, and Longfei, and looked suspiciously to win the hook. Do not want to be violent. Who is Baigu Tianjun? That is the boss of the system-defined creation level. Even in the previous boss ranks, is a transcendental level. Unexpectedly, the winning hook is just the beginning of the game and immediately suppress the audience. The whole process is only to say a few words and directly put the existence of Baigu Tianjun in the hands, like a plaything, to take it. Give me? Longfei tentatively asked. Some are not willing to believe. Such a strong existence can be summoned by the system itself. It is already an incredible thing. Even want to meet yourself? Unreasonable. Too unreasonable. Of course, this seat speaks one thing. When the hook and say, regardless of whether Longfei is willing or not, let's take a look. Longfei felt that his body seemed to be out of his own control and was directly drawn to the throne of the white bone. Hey! When Longfei's eyes were shocked, he felt that a force in the underworld was directly drawn around the body. A very intuitive feeling tells him he is the king of this battlefield. Dominate everything. Even the words spoken before the winds are echoed in the ears. That is the current Baigu Tianjun, who wants to kill and kill. Just a thought. At this time, the wind is a sinful smile. Well, kid, since I have received my meeting, then things will be easier. Kid, practice well. Time is limited. If you're trying to break through this realm, you must go back to Earth. When the hook can say, immediately open your mouth and scream. 2 cavities appear directly on the lips. And to win the hook, directly reach out and pull it down and put in your hand. It's just that you have to retreat and refine these 2 teeth, which will allow your physical strength to go further. Okay, this seat is leaving. Remember, be sure to be fast. Winning the hook, after the completion of the figure, directly into the infinite black fog, dissipated in the abyss. Chapter 45:25. Chapter 45:25, Going Back to Earth. Longfei's heart was excited. This is the place where countless dreams come back. Even now, Xian Emperor has already obliterated and entered Wanjia. Longfei never gave up in his heart. Earth. Laozi has long wanted to go back. One day, I will definitely go back. Longfei eyes must be. Watching the wind hook slowly leave, the eyes flashed a fine light. However, soon, Longfei regained his eyes and moved in one step, directly sitting on the throne of the white bones. Looking at it, the weak bones of the white bones, a cold in the eyes. I was very cool just now. Come on, continue. Isn't it the first battlefield that is your territory? Don't you want to treat Laozi as a decoration for the throne? You move me another look? Longfei said faintly, a look of play. Now, when Longfei controls the white bone throne, it means that it is the life and death of Baigu Tianjun. Moreover, now, Bai Bian Tianjun has lost the soul of his eyes. Basically, it is blind, and the strength is greatly reduced. Baigu Tianjun raises empty eyes. Kid, don't be proud. Although I don't know how you can attract such a strong presence. But now he is gone. Skinny Camel is bigger than Ma. Don't you understand? More than what you think is the existence of this throne. Just by giving him a sentence, you can control it. It's a joke. Baigu Tianjun said quietly. I don't believe that Longfei has control over 10,000. Longfei smiled. Skinny Camel is bigger than horse? But you are just a bunch of dead bones. Don't you dare. Longfei said disdain. Thoughts move. Above the white bones, the breath is scattered. An unspeakable pattern flashed, and a shadow of a skull suddenly flashed out. Hey! The shadow of is directly branded on Baigu Tianjun. Hey! Bone screamed, and the ribs of the whole body were cut off directly. You 100 ghosts, anger screamed, and under the white bones there was finally a feeling of fear again. But the words have not been finished. The dragon flying above the throne, a cold and direct interruption. Immediately, another ghost flashed out. Hey! On the bones of the white bones, a large piece of bone directly exploded. Longfei eyes are silent, looking at the power of the throne. Directly lose any resistance to the bones of the heavenly king, sneer in my heart. Unsurprisingly, this throne is not owned by the bone. Rather, this throne is used to suppress the white bones. And that chain is the power of the throne. However, in the infinite years, let Bai Bian Tianjun explore some of the doorways while controlling by the throne, he took control of some power. Even today, Longfei can think of it. Baigu Tianjun has already reached the edge of breaking free. Perhaps he will be able to counterattack and control the throne, and he will be happy. Unfortunately, I met myself, and Longfei will not have the slightest pity for Baigu Tianjun. After all, it's just a boss. Longfei also lost his savage mind, his eyes condensed, and his palms were directly shot on the throne. Bang! Hey! The 2 chains re-emerged directly from the throne. Olala! The 2 chains are broken, and they are swept out, and the white bones are directly worn in one step. Don't kill me. Baigu Tianjun suddenly opened. There is no arrogance anymore. Kill me. The entire first battlefield is the land of no ownership. At that time, it will definitely cause changes in Tongxian Road. At the time, the entire Tongxian Road will be cut off. Leave me alive. I am willing to be your dog. Baigu Tianjun asked for help. No bones. Compared with the previous arrogance, is simply two people. And Long Fei simply can't listen. A dog? Are you still qualified to be my dog now? I don't die. Then see how I broke you today. The king of the town, give a big drink. Long Fei is like a supreme authority. In a word, the whole person's body changes. Rumble. At this time, the throne of the white bone was directly voiced, and there was no pressure and suffocation. Oh la la la. A chain of chains is a change. The bone thorns breed, and then instantly penetrate the body of the white bones. Hey, unsurprisingly, by Bian Tianjun also directly turned into a piece of powder. Hey, congratulations to the player Long Fei killing the creation level boss by Bian Tianjun, gaining an experience of 100 billion. The source value is 10 billion, and the violent value is 1 point. Hey, congratulations to the player for the sword. Hey, congratulations to the players for not getting rid of the spirit. Hey, congratulations to the players to get the essence of the bones. The system exploded. The prompt tone is continuous. These dragons have been satisfied with the explosion. Think about it, and look at the various properties directly. For the demon, killing power increased by 50%. For the enemy to produce a killing enemy. The lethality increased by 20%, and have the opportunity to trigger the magic sword to bring their own skills, the Town of Sword. Long Fei has been stunned, watching the system's second surgery, heart rate acceleration. In the next moment, Long Fei holds the bone sword and his eyes are very excited. Haha, 50% improvement? Who else is this Nima? There are also killing attributes? Sen, this is a killer. Long Fei laughed, not cool. At this stage, the means he controls are too singular. In addition to the martial arts, the Blade of the King has limitations. Nowadays, the explosion of the Scorpion Sword just complements this shortboard. Moreover, the attributes of the Scorpion Sword are simply against the sky. What is a sword in hand I have in the world? This sword is fully in line with this feature. This time I really earned it. Chu Shanhai and the people of the Dark Emperor and the group of women who want to kill the old man. Come on. Come on. Laozi is waiting for you. Long Fei holds a long sword and his heart is stirring. Invincible thoughts instantly wash away the void. Directly let the inexhaustible bones, endless sorrow, humble worship. And Long Fei, who did not care about those at all, turned to look at the other two things. Do not destroy the spirit. No level. Description. The time and space of the ages, the first battlefield of Shunyu. After the fall, there is no immortal obedience of the strong. Refining can make the supreme thought. Seeing here, the dragonfly's pupils are focused on excitement. Nothing to read the forewords for Long Fei. It is an irresistible temptation. System, direct refining. Long Fei said that he didn't want to wait for a moment. However, after the speech was finished, the system did not respond at all. System, what's the matter? Long Fei asked. Imagine, is this time at this time? A bug has occurred? Hey, the item is invisible and the player cannot be refining. The system responded. Long Fei glimpsed, and there was endless disappointment in his eyes. A wiped system, it won't you want to black out my stuff? Long Fei asked. But this time, the system did not answer, but directly prompted, hey, the item can be swallowed by the system wizard. After the swallow, the system wizard wakes up. Will the player swallow? Chapter 45:26. Chapter 45:26. Long Fei's new tide. Breathing feels a little short. System girl? When the system sound appeared, Long Fei's mind directly appeared in the invincible girl who could be sweet and can be overbearing. Jump, jump, jump. In the vagueness, Long Fei felt the sperm on the upper brain. It's not that he's not enough, but the system's sister can fully understand what he thinks and can change instantly. This skill is not available to anyone. Swallowing, don't ask, just swallow it. Long Fei responded directly. Regarding the system sister, Long Fei has been mourning for a long time. That is the existence of a heaven. Deducting empty energy, strong enough to be invincible. Even a longevity can be played. What else can't be done? Oh, the immortal mind is swallowed up, and the time is uncertain. The system sound appears. For a time in the system, Long Fei's heart is not awkward, but he can't help it. Before, but always better than before, there is no hope at all. System sister, hurry up and wake up. Long Fei thought in his heart. His eyes turned and looked at the last thing. Wangu essence. Essence of Wangu. No grade. Properties. After the fall of the billionaires, the essence of the elite is integrated into the bones, which is extremely pure. Int. It can be integrated into the winning and refining, which can improve the strength of the winning hook. Long Fei is heartwarming. It is another anti-day existence. Needless to say, the strength of the win hook is almost horrible. It is Long Fei who admits that there is an absolute gap with the other party. However, although Long Fei's heart is helpless, it will not be lost. After all, there is a system. Even if it is strong, Long Fei will certainly step on the foot. What was the original emperor? Not the same as being killed by himself, and finally becoming a respectable running dog. Wagging and pity continue to survive in a different form. Plus now, if the system's sister wakes up, afraid of the gap in repairing, non-existent. Good things, but not rushing to the present. This basically means that it is a killer, and it will be used later. Long Fei thought of it. As a matter of urgency, system tasks are the key. If the smoldering left by the refining and refining hooks can be physical, it is not enough to make Long Fei feel better than the upgrade. Moreover, now on the road of Tongxian, there are more drags in Long Fei's heart. One thought of this. Long Fei is sitting on the throne of the white bone, ready to control this endless sea of bone through the throne, looking for some clues. At this time, the throne of the bone also sent out a feeling of extreme affection, as if to recognize the Lord. Okay, have a sense of wisdom. Long Fei's heart suddenly broke. The artifact is wise, not at all unusual. However, in front of the whole piece of bone sea, in addition to the bones of the heavenly king, is a creature. The other, at best, can only be regarded as a dead spirit. Therefore, Long Fei never thought about it. This throne can be intelligent. When I think of it, the dragon soul is moving and sinking directly into the throne of the white bone. Booming. For a moment, Long Fei felt like a stone sinking into the sea, and within the entire white bone throne, it was a vast sky. It is like a land of sorrow. A piece of white as chaotic is extremely heavy, but Long Fei knows that it is definitely chaotic. There will never be such a large handwriting, which is used to put a white bone on this road. With this in mind, Long Fei mobilized the power of eternal life. Brush. The eternal life is like the light of the heavens and the earth. Brush it. Within the space of the white bones, the breath of the sky was instantly smashed by the eternal life of Long Fei. And this piece of space finally appeared in front of Long Fei. Still innocent, but Long Fei's knowledge can be controlled, because he is the master of this white bone throne. At this time, a faint voice appeared in the mind of Long Fei. Master. The voice is insignificant, like a child. Long Fei's gaze began to dissipate, constantly searching, and finally saw a mini version of the white bone swaying towards himself. I rub. Do you want to be so cute? It is Long Fei, which is all sprouted by the small bones that appear in front of the eyes. It is like a very popular cartoon on Earth. Like the stiff fish, there was no friend. You are the king of the bones. Long Fei asked. Master, I don't know what I am. Only the smell of the master just gave birth to me, and I gave birth to my mind. As for what my body is, I don't know. The little bones faintly said, shaking the thumb-sized hoe. Very cute. Long Fei glimpsed, this will understand. It turned out that this little bone was actually because he became the master of this white bone throne, and he was able to give birth to his wisdom. Thinking of this, Long Fei was slightly disappointed. After all, He wants to know the first battlefield from the mouth of this little bone. What is the situation? It seems that it is simply unreliable. Just now I have been born with wisdom. How can I know those things? However, for the harvest of such a small bone, Long Fei is still quite comfortable. Since you have just born a sense of wisdom, then practice well. Your name will be called White Bone in the future. Long Fei said, "Thank you, Master. I'm a little bone in the future." The white bone should be accepted, and it is obviously very exciting for Long Fei to give his name. Long Fei smiled lightly, no longer waiting for more, and God recognized the movement and directly withdrew the space of the white bone throne. What makes Long Fei unexpected is that in the moment when Long Fei's consciousness is returned to reality, a burst of roaring sounds from the abyss below. The entire abyss, like a huge screen, presents the other side in front of Long Fei. I'm going, is this God's vision? Long Fei can't believe it. Looking at the west, Shanhaizong of the Chushan Sea, the dark Xianmazong and a group of women and the dragons are mixed, and their eyes are full of surprises. At this time, in his eyes, the world under the abyss is directly the same as transparent. For a moment, Long Fei's gaze must be fixed, thinking of a new void in the void between the collapse of the ninth battlefield. In an instant, Long Fei's heart is clear. Under this abyss, this is another world of Tongxian Road. Just like Shaoguan, they want to go further and move on to the next level. And myself, it is the first step to the other, directly to the world, and become the master of this world. Looking at the world below, the battle broke out, and my heart was extremely sorry. These are all experiences. However, Long Fei's heart is also relieved. Nothing else, because there are too many people below. There are more than tens of thousands of demon people. There are also dragons, plus a few sects, with nearly 200,000 people. Even if only 1/3 of the battlefield survived, it was enough for him to complete the task. Ha ha ha. That is to say, after the person below decides the outcome, can I enter the area where I am? I finally have to meet. Come on, I want to know. You will see what Laozi's expression will look like. Long Fei laughed in his heart. Chapter 45:27. Chapter 45:27. At this time, in the second battlefield, the battle broke out. Here, there is no race, no martial art, no righteousness. Yes, only want to break through this battlefield and reach the required amount of barbarism and madness. Dragons is in the midst of a battle, and it's almost a shot. However, the construction of the horse is not the same. After the transformation into a dragon to build a horse, Jianma kills one side and gallops on the battlefield. Except for a handful of people like Chu Shanhai, almost no one is his opponent. God blocks the killing of God, and the Buddha blocks the Buddha. However, the long-term killings made the construction of the horses too much. They directly magnified, recruited a thunder, opened a road, and came to the side of Long Fei. Boss, this is a bit wrong. These people seem to have forgotten the difference between the martial art and see people kill. It's already red-eyed, and everyone seems to have lost its intelligence. Jianma was wearing a rough gas and said quietly, "He has already killed too much, and the body of the beast can't continue to carry it." Long Fei nodded. Well said. Above this battlefield, there is a special kind of power. As if a person moves to kill, it will become strangled. It seems that there's a kind of power in the dark to control this place, to let people deliberately kill. Long Fei said, "It was because I had already felt everything here, so before he did not shoot, just dodge. However, after all, it is impossible to change everything here. Above the battlefield, the fire is ruthless. What kind of sect, what faction is worthless here? Humanity has received an unprecedented test. It is Chushanhai and Zhantai Lingxiu, who is on the water side, have been immersed in the killing and cannot extricate themselves. As for the magic sense, there are Tianlong Wang and the Blood Demon King, but also killing the sky. The numbers above the battlefield are also decreasing in madness. The Master, what do we do, still kill? The current number is almost the same as the number required by the previous monument. Ask the horse. Before the second battlefield opened, the unsung voice had conveyed the goal of the second battlefield. That is 30,000. Today, after a day and night, under the mad killing, there are only 30,000 people left. Dragon's eyes squint and look above the void. I saw that a huge vortex had formed above the void. Among the whirlpools, a scent from the battlefield below. As long as one person is killed in the battlefield below, the power in this vortex will increase by 1 point. Dragons has a feeling that as long as there are only 30,000 people left on the battlefield, the vortex in this void will erupt, just like opening the second battlefield before opening a new battlefield. Thinking of this, Lone Fei sighed and said, "Kill it. Anyway, as long as there are only 30,000 people left, it will open a new battlefield. It will end sooner or later," Long Fei said, and he took the initiative to attack. As for Chu Shanhai and others, this has already killed the red eyes. It seems that the digital target has become the only standard in their hearts. Regardless of the people in the same door or the enemy, as long as they are close, they will be killed. What they didn't know was that at this time in the first battlefield, Long Fei was sitting on the throne of the White Bone, watching the world under the abyss, and his heart was burning. God's vision allows him to control everything. At the same time, he can also perceive that a great attraction is growing stronger as the number of people below is decreasing. Even before, the world below will collapse and the abyss will disappear. At the time, this first battlefield, everyone will also log in. I'm fucking. Is there only a few people left? How do you do this special task? Lone Fei sees everything below. For a whole few hours, the number dropped from hundreds of thousands to tens of thousands, making Lone Fei depressed to liver pain. However, there is nothing to help. Everything he can intervene can only watch. But at this time, above the entire first battlefield, a supreme will emerges from above the void. Just like this one on the first battlefield, there is a higher level of the world, watching it here. The dragon flies in the light and looks at the void. I saw that at this time, above the void, a white mangling suddenly appeared, directly immersed in the endless sea of bones. Rumble, rumble, under the endless sea of bones began to roar. There seems to be something that is constantly growing in general. Lone Fei eyes stared and said nothing. Then, a stone monument emerged directly from the endless sea of bones and slowly rose. Is this the monument? A dragon flies. The existence of Tongxianbei has been heard on the 9th battlefield. Unexpectedly, today, in this first battlefield, I even witnessed the emergence of the entire Tongxian monument. Rumble. The huge roaring sounds are still erupting, and Tongxianbei is constantly rising in this roar. 1 meter, 2 meters in a blink of an eye, directly into a tall 100-meter stone monument, standing on the void, very incomparable. At the moment when the 100-meter-long monument was formed, a will descended from the void. Bone Bones, the first battlefield. I'm going to slap hundreds of millions of soldiers and kill the monks. Only 10 people can. The rest will be your nourishment. A voice fell and fell directly into the vast sky. The dragon's mouth is cold, and a horrible conjecture appears above his heart. That is the Tongxian Road. Thorough is a conspiracy. It seems to be a certain existence in the baptism of the people of Tongxian mainland. It is like cutting a leek, harvesting the mainland of Tongxian County, one after the other. As long as the monks on the mainland of Tongxian are strong, this universal continent will become their end. However, this time, it is destined to be broken. No matter who is behind this, how to pass the sky, Lone Fei must kill it. And this Tongxian Road will also be overturned, because this is the system task, equivalent to saying that Lone Fei's copy target is to kill this person. Therefore, for this order, Lone Fei directly sneered at it and did not care. He is not a bone, so he will not care who this will be. At this time, this will also open again. Bones, do you hear the orders of this seat? Very proud. It is as if the order is subordinate. I heard Nima. Open your dog's eyes and see clearly. Now sitting on this throne is not a bone, but Lao Tzu. As for your bones, I have already been killed by Lao Tzu. Long Fei fell directly. If the whole Tongxian road is under the control of others, there is no accident. Long Fei is one of the opponent's goals. This feeling makes Long Fei very unhappy. Therefore, no matter who it is, Long Fei will not back down, that is, go back. Chapter 45:28. Chapter 45:28 Command? Non-existent. Not to mention a will, even if it is really the supreme existence, Long Fei will not be embarrassed. If you can't do it, you will die. Now, his experience is a breakthrough. Only the last 4 billion experience. Just killing 2 people is enough. If you're not good, you could devour the experience, Dan. When the time is upgraded, the hand of the avenue will come out and control who you are. And as the dragon's voice fell above the void, the will suddenly slammed and immediately burst into a raging anger, and even directly formed a face of nothingness. Is it you? I don't think you are really difficult. In this world of celestial beings, you can still live to the present. However, even if you're a variable, it will not help. This is the road to death. It is your death. This seat, waiting for you at the end of Tongxian Road. On the void, the 5 senses disappeared. Long Fei looked coldly and said nothing. Can you see through me? Is it the person I know? Long Fei's heart was puzzled. Immediately, a figure gradually emerged in the mind of Long Fei. Moreover, it is becoming more and more obvious. It's him. Long Fei's heart was shocked. I thought of the figure that appeared on the starry sea. At this time, it coincides with the will that came before. Suddenly, Long Fei's heart suddenly broke. Very shocking. Long Fei can even be sure that this figure must be related to his mainline mission on Tongxian Road. Make trouble anyway. Justify it. For a time, Long Fei's heart sparked again. It's just right. If the 3rd stage of the mission is you, then it's a fight to devour 50 experience, Dan, and Lao Tzu will explode you. Long Fei thought of it. On the next moment, above the void, Tongxian Monument suddenly fell and rushed into the endless abyss. Long Fei's cold eyes are opposite, silent. He knows that the next battlefield is finally over and will soon enter this world. One thought of this. Long Fei thought of a move, control the throne of the white fog, directly into the endless sea of bones. And the endless bones, at this time, because of the operation of Long Fei, and hidden between the heavens and the earth, disappeared without a trace. At this time, on the 2nd battlefield, it has become a paradise on earth. Broken arm wreckage is everywhere. Shanhaizong suffered the most, with more than 20,000 people entering it, leaving only 2,000. The Darshan Mazong has 3,000 people. 3,000 people on the water side. The dragon is 1,002, and the demon is nearly 10,000. Together with Long Fei and Jianma, it's just a good full 30,000 people. And as the numbers reach, there is a roar above the void. Tongxian Bay directly enters through this endless vortex. Rumble. The 100-meter Tongxian Bay Bureau stands directly on the battlefield and is magnificent. And everyone was awakened at this time. Countless people still hang on the face of the haze when they kill. But at this moment, I woke up and looked at the numerous bodies around me, and my face was sad again. But this grief, not too long, just disappeared in a flash. Instead, it is an excitement, because now the appearance of the Tongxian Monument is equivalent to saying that they have already passed the 2nd battlefield, one step closer to the opportunity they want. Fake, a group of idiots just killing, and now I want to be a virgin. Jianma opened the ramp. For these people, there is really no way to spit. If it is really the same brother and sister, how can it hurt the killer? After all, everything is not as important as their chance in their eyes. Dragons is not okay and does not speak. At this time, the Tongxian Monument began to flash infinitely. Then, a series of characters emerged on it. The 5th place, on the water side, the amount of elimination is 20 million. 4th place, Yaozu, the amount of elimination is 2 million. 3rd place, Dragons, the amount of elimination is 25,000. The picture appears here and pauses slightly. And among the crowd, it caused embarrassment again. Up to now, there is only one first, one second. Without quotation, it will be born in Chushanhai and the magic sense. This time, the first one can get undead qualifications and a superb artifact. What is this? This is basically the same as the premise of Tongxian Road. As long as you get these things, you'll have a hard time through Tongxian Road. It must be my mountain high zone, my legendary, the Taoist law is supreme. I can certainly get these. Shan Haizong disciple said, Far fart is the talent of my dark mysterious demon. The dark mysterious disciple disciples directly. Is you a fart, and you have a group of friends who can't see the light, and dare to contaminate the opportunity of Tongxian Road? Garbage stuff. Your mountain high zone disciple is very strong. If you don't accept it, then kill another one and see who is afraid of who. Suddenly, Shan Haizong and the dark mysterious emperor once again quarreled, and no one would serve anyone. At this time, on top of the monument, it flashed again. As in the case of engraving, write down the names of two people in the direction of the head. Chushanhai, magic sense, and behind it, it is an overview of the two. Kill the enemy with 2006. Brush it. In an instant, everyone was silent and looked at each other. It seemed that no one had thought that this would happen. Is Chu Shanhai and the magic sense Xian are all a mistake. Between the eyes, each snorted. Achow, I can't think of these two things so strong. Boss, we should do our best now. Otherwise, it won't let these two things get a chance. Jinma was angry and said with regret. And Long Fei nodded. No, even if we try our best, it's better than a sect. After all, they're not the best of the world, but they're also the leaders of their respective sections. Their strength is extraordinary. Long Fei said. But in the eyes, the figure of Long Fei emerged. If you are here, it must be another result. Long Fei whispered in his mouth and flashed a bitter smile. Jinma shook his head with helplessness, and he was extremely unwilling. He hated that the chance of his hand fell into the hands of others. At this time, with the top of the monument, the last paragraph appears. The entire Tongxian monument was also bursting between the crashes. Then fly a token directly. The above is engraved with the word free. Don't look at it. It is the undead qualification mentioned before. The magic sense took a look, and I didn't dare to go. But Chu Shanhai, but under the shackles, directly reached out and took over. The magical mysterious bird said, The things that are greedy and fearful of death, without the determination to make a desperate attempt, dare to come to Tongxian Road. Stupid. Since you have the qualification to die, it is my artifact. The magic sense Xian said loudly. Looking at the condensate, look directly at the Tongxian monument that is breaking. Oh, la la la. The stone is broken and there is no loss. Only a long knife left, standing on the ground. The magic sense of the body moved, a long knife caught in the hand, laughing. Ha ha ha. Good pure magic. It's mine. On the road to the ferry, who else can stop me? The magic sense is arrogant and proud. Chapter 45:29. Chapter 45:29. One person does not die, and one person controls the magic knife. For a time, it became the most unique two people on the second battlefield. Originally, the two were extremely powerful. One person is a legend of Shanghai, and one person is the world of Magic Road. No matter which one, it is a world-class genius. Nowadays, getting this kind of power blessing is even more leaping, becoming the most promising person to pass through the road. Long Fei eyes flashed, his fists clenched, his face was melancholy, and he didn't know what he was thinking. However, Jima is not reconciled. In his view, if Long Fei was shot before and killed the most, it must be theirs. But now it's awkward to miss him. Reliably master, even if they get this chance, is the same in front of you. It is a slag. Jianma said, for Long Fei, he blindly trusts. It has reached a point where it is impossible to add. This is Long Fei's no shot. As long as the dragonfly shot, what mountain legend, what the magic of the town, all can be crushed. Dragons is not allowed, and no one has any explanation. But in fact, in the heart, it is worrying about Long Fei. He knows Long Fei's plan. Long Fei wants him to seek a limit in his identity on this Tongxian road. And he himself wants to hide in the dark and sway everything in some way. However, no one ever thought that this Tongxian road was totally different from what they thought. This is not a road to pass through. It is a reciting, being controlled by others, and wanting them to kill each other. Moreover, they still cannot refuse. Otherwise, it will remain on this road forever and eventually become a bone. Moreover, what is most unexpected for Long Fei is that the interests are smoky. For everyone to take the opportunity on this road, it is crazy to kill. Therefore, now that we have no power to turn around, we can only continue step by step according to the path set by others. However, what he is more worried about is the dragonfly, because until the heart, he did not see the figure of Long Fei, together with the white deer and the night child, but also disappeared. It is like disappearing out of thin air. "Master, what are you thinking?" Jianma asked. "It's nothing. Now that the monument has been cracked, I think the next battlefield is about to open, but I don't know what it will be." Long Fei said. There was a slight hesitation and worry in the eyes. "Who cares? Big deal is hard work, and see who can survive." Jianma screamed and had no scruples. It seemed that he had already had an anger and wanted to kill the quartet. But at this time, above the void, a chaotic air mass suddenly fell between. For a moment, including Long Fei, everyone was shocked. But immediately, they are all looking forward to it, because they also know that after this breath, it is the other world. Rumble, rumble. With the endless turbulent atmosphere above the void, the entire second battlefield began to collapse rapidly. Everyone's face changed dramatically. "Run, this battlefield is about to collapse. Go up." "Yes, no matter what," advanced to say. "No matter, go." Suddenly, countless voices appeared, and the mess was incomparable. But there is only one central idea, that is the boundary that enters the void. "Hey!" Countless figures began to leap in madness, pouring into the air mass above the void. Long Fei and Jianma are no exception. Jianma's wings were shaken, and Long Fei was magnified on his back and flew over the void. "Hey!" In a moment when all the characters poured into the air mass, the entire second battlefield collapsed completely and became a void. Above the air mass, the figure of the people is rising, but for a moment, they come to an open space. It is the first battlefield. But now the first battlefield has long been empty. Even the endless bones have been hidden by Long Fei. It can be said that the current first battlefield, nothing, is just a space that is empty. Everyone who has entered this place has already been automatically dispersed and returned to his camp. Long Fei, who sees everything in his eyes, is extremely disdainful. When I was killed in the second battlefield, everything was an enemy. Now it seems that the relatives are the same as the half-brothers and brothers. Shameless. But soon, Long Fei blinked his eyes. This camp? Interesting. With a slight sigh, Long Fei's hands were firmly gripped on the throne of the white bone. The anger is soaring. For a moment, the cold light burst between the eyes. Yes, at this time, he has the vision of God, directly seeing below several sects of power, slightly changing the orientation. Directly combine Long Fei and Jianma to be in the middle. Purpose, it goes without saying. What do you want to do? Jianma's face is tight, and the incarnation of the dragon and the dragon. The endless scales are chilling, and the anger is bursting. The breath of Long Fei is also a shock, and the eyes are cold. At this moment, how can I still see it? He's been targeted. It can be said that it is directly targeted by all the forces in this battlefield. What? Of course it is killing you. We have thousands of people on either side, and what about you? Only 2 people. It is necessary to clean up the useless people first. Suddenly, the person of the dark, Xian Mazong said, with a bit of contempt in the eyes. "Yes, my mountain Haizong and you have sea enmity. Before you and my Zongshanhai legend have agreed, it is best to die on this road. I'm also in the water side. This sun killed the sect of my ancestral ancestors, and I will die. This kind of cockroach does not know where to get the blood of my dragon family. I suspect that the ancestral dragon lost by my dragon family many years ago was stolen by him. I will marry him today. This kid has just killed a lot of my demon, and I must have killed him today. Everyone spoke up. Consistent. Everyone directly pointed the spearhead at Lone Fei. It seems that in their eyes, dragons has not been tolerated. That is, the cancer of all people's minds. Dragons' eyes are certain, heavy, but the eyes are firm. So, do you want to kill me? Long Fei said that the voice was light. There is no fear at all, as if the burden of the heart has been put down. At this moment is a battle that wants to be hardy. Kill you? You also have so many people with us? If you know each other, it is best now, from the abolition of the meridians, you can still leave a whole body. Yes, don't look at what you are, and dare to be arrogant now. A sneer sneaked down. Everyone is full of disdain. They are targeting dragons because of fear. So in the invisible, directly reach an agreement. It is necessary to kill first. Moreover, at the moment, under the influence of the five forces, they absolutely do not believe that Lone Fei can still survive. Yes, Lone Fei is a faint smile, and both hands move. You join hands, but just because you are afraid. Since you are afraid? Then, what are you afraid of? Come on, fight and fight. Chapter 45:30. Chapter 45:30, Lone Fei said frankly, there is only one belief in his heart, and that is not to be embarrassed. Lone Fei will give you the creation of heaven, even if it can't be like a dragon. Yes, since this identity should be applied. He can't be jealous. Even if it is to die, it is absolutely necessary to stand the hero. It's stubborn. If that's the case, then send you to hell. It's just a shame. Look at how you died today. A few disciples screamed. However, no one dares to go on. When you fight, what is so much nonsense? It seems that you really have the ability to shoot. Come on, Laozi is here. See which one is looking for death, and dare to step closer. Jin Mao, the body shock, directly incarnate the body, put Lone Fei on his back, huge eyes, staring at the people in front of him. Very crazy. It is disdain. The people in front of the forces are directly silent at this time. Everything is in the air, and there is no ridicule and disdain. Rubbish. Jin Ma screamed and walked forward step by step. At this moment, he also knows in his heart if there is a fight with several people. With them, there is absolutely no chance of winning. But at this time, Jin Ma has not yet gone out. The five figures appeared directly out of thin air. Chu Shanhai, Magic Sense Xian, Zhan Tai Ling Xiao, Blood Demon King, Tian Longwang. The five forces have the strongest fighting force and directly block the way. Want to go? It is impossible today. Chu Shanhai, this person will be handed over to you. This animal who does not know what kind of variant. Let us solve it. The magical mystery of the dark, mysterious emperor first opened. In his view, the threat of building a horse is much greater than that of Lone Fei. After all, until now, the number of Lone Fei shots has been numerous and has not shown much. Just building a horse is too violent. If you don't die, even if you don't threaten them, you will lose the weight of their people. It is precisely because of this that several people will come together. In the distance, Chu Shanhai's face is full of murder. Boy, I've already said that Tongxian Road is your death. Before there will be a heavy ferry to protect you. Now, with your mountain and sea law, you want to fight in front of me? I didn't do it before just because I want to save my strength. And now, there is no possibility of survival. Chu Shanhai said. His expression was fixed. Unparalleled confidence. I am full of 4 characters on my face. Dragons patted the horse at this time. You have to be careful. Dragons lightly said, and then the body jumped and went straight to the void, facing the Chushan Sea. In the same way, I will return it to you now. I said that on the road to Tongxian, I want your life. Lone Fei said, above the hands, the Shanhai law begins to surge. The Judaishan Haidao law is extremely powerful and is naturally in the hands of Lone Fei. Countless ways have vacated in the control of Lone Fei. Dragon's hands fell, heavy and heavy. Boom, boom. The 9 ways of law directly descended from the sky, surrounded by the body of Long Fei, and held the body of Long Fei. At this moment, the Dark Emperor and the people on the water side all change. The power of the Tao law is not what they are now able to bear. Puff, puff. One by one, the figure fell directly to the ground, struggling with pain. Some of them are slightly weaker. They have already turned red and have difficulty breathing. It seems that under the pressure of this law, they are about to collapse. Ha ha ha. At this level, dare you? My boss has not yet shot. You're going to die to live, but dare to say that I left my boss? I really don't want to make a face. You are the one who has seen the most unpredictable garbage in my heart. Jinma madly laughed and did not care about his safety. Watching Long Fei show his talents, there is a glimmer of light in his eyes. Hey, take care of yourself first. At this time, the magic sense Xuanda shouted. The magic knife in the hand swayed, a knife fell. Boom! Endless killings are empty, and they are forced to build horses. Roar! Jianma roared and gave the knife to the moment directly with the double angle of the head. Hey! However, what surprised the construction of the horse was that his own double horns were broken directly from the middle onto the knife of the other side, splitting into 2. Roar! Once again, the body of Jianma suddenly receded, and the scales on the wings were dazzling, and the coldness was scattered. This is impossible. My blood is back to the ancestors. It is impossible for the body to be a true artifact. You is unbelievable and has a panic. Ha ha ha. It seems to be high to see you. On the water side, there are also demon dragons. Let's go back. It is enough to kill this beast one in the town. Ha ha ha. The supreme artifact of Tongxian Road is Nyobi, a knife in hand. Who is fighting? Give me death. The magic sense was a big smile, and the long knife in his hand flashed again and fell heavily. Rumble. This time, it is even more violent. As everything is annihilated, the power of violentness falls directly on the horse. Hey! On the body of Jianma, it was instantly cut through a hole, and the scales were directly smashed, flesh and blooded, and miserable. Aha! You're also doing this. The blood is back to the ancestors. I will solve you before the master of Chushan Si solves your master. Let you know what is the real power of the world. The magic sense Xianzhang said that the long knife in his hand is at this moment, and it becomes even more arrogant and mad. At this time, Dragon is preparing to shoot, but it feels that the horse is in danger, and his face changes. Just to fight against the power of Chushanhai, suddenly changed direction, attacking magical mystery. Bang! Both palms blasted. The left palm is killing the town, and the right hand is destined to death. The power of the Judaishan Haidao law suddenly surged out. Hey! The power of the 2 palms directly appears in front of the Jianma, and the magical sense of the sword is given to the students. At this time, the Chushan Si moved step by step, and the shadow behind the mountains and seas suddenly appeared. Like carrying the mountains and seas, it is the power of the world. When I fight, I dare to save people. Today, this legend teaches you to be a man. Let you know that arrogance is not a good end. Chushan Haizui Corner is a cold smile. At the moment, Long Fei was deadlocked with the magical sense, and a fist ignited the mountains and seas. For a time, everyone in the field was relieved, feeling that Chushanhai was under the palm of his hand. Whether it was Long Fei or Jinma, it would be a scream. However, no one noticed. Above the void, a figure slowly appeared. In the moment when the punch of Chu Shanhai is about to fall, a knives of knives will burst out. Rumble. A knife fell, whether it was a punch of Chu Shanhai or a knife of the magic sense. It was directly overturned. Brush it. For a moment, everyone was stunned and looked at the void. Don't be too crazy. It's useless. Did you dare to move me? Have you ever asked? I agree not to agree. Long Fei strolled through the void, his eyes cold, and said coldly. Chapter 45:31. Chapter 45:31 above the first battlefield. no one is surprised. How arrogant is it that the swordsmen retreat from the two camps? Chu Shanhai and the magic sense, Xian also exposed the shock, watching Long Fei slowly coming in the void, his eyes horrified. It is not just the power that Long Fei has shown. More importantly, Long Fei actually appeared under the circumstances that they did not perceive. This shows what? Indicating that Long Fei has already been in this first battlefield. This result makes them more fearful than the power of Long Fei. Impossible. Who are you? Why is it here? When did you come? Asked the magical anger. The pupils in the eyes are all focused together, and the endless magic is aerodynamic. Obviously, the emergence of Long Fei has made him feel a strong sense of crisis. It's not just him, it's Chu Shanhai, but it's also incredible. Because for Long Fei, he has no sense at all. Who are you? The Chushan Si asked coldly, and the scorpion was full of caution. At this time, among the Shanhai Zone, a voice exclaimed, "It is the foreign disciple. It is the disciple who took the madman from the outer door." No, how is this possible? At the beginning, he was just a garbage of the realm of the gods. How could it become so powerful? This is absolutely impossible. Among the mountains and seas, some people recognized Long Fei. However, it is when Long Fei is a foreign disciple of Shanhai Zone. As soon as this statement came out, Chu Shanhai was even more shocked. His eyes continued to sway on Long Fei and Long Fei. It seems to be guessing what? No guess. Long Fei stepped forward and smiled at himself and the world. Dragon's heart feels a bit, his eyes are condensed, his body is shaking. Hey! In an instant, Dragon's was directly transformed, and it also changed back to its own state of Tsing Yi. And Long Fei, the same is true. The power of creation is shocked, and the bones of the whole body are constantly creeping. Immediately, the entire face was restored. Suddenly, the Chushan Si, I suddenly slammed between them. Look at the transition between Long Fei and Long Fei. With a moving look, the body became more and more sullen. It turns out, is this a mess? I still think that there are more sophisticated means. Do you have the ability to come out? Chu Shanhai said. The words ridicule the dragonfly. It seems that if Long Fei does not come out, then Long Fei is dead. Whether the means are not clever, not the same, turn a group of fools to the deceitful group. However, Laozi is only coming out now. You should be thankful. Otherwise, what are you doing? Have a chance to come here. Oh, too young. Long Fei said contemptuously. After I finished speaking, my heart was very refreshing. Finally realized the victory of the hook, the violent swearing, ignoring the domineering of the heavens and the earth. And with the sound of Long Fei falling, the faces of Chu Shanhai and others were suddenly embarrassing. Between the green and red interlaced, anger breeds. The Dragon King is stepping out. What do you think of and dare to be so arrogant? Over the top, it will be dead. Tianlong Wang, Shun Sheng said. Death you paralyzed. Don't look at what you are. Dare to speak in front of Laozi's master? In front of the owner, you are a grandson. No, you can't even count on your grandson. At most, it's a little trick. Long Fei has not opened yet, and the horse will be directly martyrdom. Nowadays, I saw the violentness of Long Fei, and the small universe in the heart of Jima broke out. I finally understood why I had to look at my own master before, and the way I took it was too subtle. Feelings, everything is the layout of Long Fei. Today, Long Fei appearing in an invincible posture, violent everything. Let the heart of Jinma feel very passionate, blood-burning, as if wishing to take the initiative to provoke the battle. See the dragon fly across the enemy, suppress everything. Long Fei frowned slightly and looked at the Dragon King with a look of distress. He couldn't help but say, "Don't insult the genes of Laozi. Laozi definitely has no such disgusting descendants." Long Fei said. For a moment, except for the dragons, everyone was stunned and turned red, laughing and not laughing. Kid, you are looking for death. Don't think that you can smash two people in front of the king with a knife. Tianlong Wang said with anger. And Long Fei is a sneer. You think too much, and Lao Tzu never looks at people. Really responsible, this battlefield. Lousy is the master. I let you live, you can live. I let you die, you can't live without one. Long Fei headed and said with his hands. Jokes, kid, who are you? The owner of Tongxian Road? Also, let's live and die. Don't look at whether you have this qualification. People are more self-aware, and if they want to let them die, they will make them crazy. Suddenly, the Blood Demon King, the Magic Sense Xian, and Zhan Tai Ling Xiao said one after another. The words are full of disdain and disdain. General, still killing. The more dragons fly, the more powerful they are. Even Long Fei looked at Long Fei with a strange look, but immediately it was relieved. It seems that as long as Long Fei said it, it will be able to do it. But Jianma is quietly passing to Long Fei. Master, don't be so violent. We can kill them one by one. We only have 3 people, Jianma said. There are some concerns. After all, the 5 parties have a total of 30,000. 3 pairs of 30,000. Jianma is somewhat worried. But Long Fei did not take it for granted. You don't have to be so troublesome. I want to destroy them. It's easy. But now, there's an account to calculate with them. Long Fei said. After that, my eyes turned and looked at Tianlong Wang. I asked you, why don't you see me? Long Fei said, Kid, why are you afraid of being mad, yelling at you? You count as a Dragon King yells, but only half said. All the anger in the pupil disappeared directly and was directly shrouded in boundless fear. Who are you? Tianlong Wang stunned, and his footsteps continually exploded. Behind him, nearly Wanlong, at the same time uncontrolled direct conversion to the dragon body, facing the dragonfly, directly fell to the ground, kneeling on the ground, already humbled into the dust. Only the Dragon King is still struggling. But Long Fei, still forced to ask the past. I am asking you, see me, why not? Long Fei aggravated the tone, and the body of the ancient dragon was automatically opened. Under the influence of the power of creation, it was undoubtedly obvious. At this moment, he is the dragon ancestors. It's not impossible. You are clearly a person. How can there be a breath of dragon ancestors? I don't believe it. If the Dragon King is crazy, try his best, turn into a dragon, roar and fly toward the dragon, as if to swallow the dragonfly. However, Long Fei, it did not move until the dragon body of Tianlong Wang forced himself to a foot, and Long Fei's eyes jerked openly. Give me a sigh. Chapter 45:32. Chapter 45:32, A Heavy Bang, directly diffused the whole world. The posture of Tianlong Wang's offense also came to an abrupt end. A loud noise. The huge body of the Dragon King fell directly to the ground. Not only that, but the whole dragon body began to tighten at a speed that is visible to the naked eye. Don't be an ancestor. I was wrong. Spare me. Spare me. Don't deprive me of my blood. Don't deprive me of my strength. The Tianlong King collapsed on the ground, and the dragon body of hundreds of feet was only a few moments, and it was reduced to a few dozen feet. The repair was also seriously shrunk. This scene made everyone in the field stunned by the chin. I can't believe what I saw. The Dragon King of the world can't be defeated. In one sentence, the most basic force of direct refining is lost, and the direct blood of the dragons is deprived. This is a fake, or you'll slap me. Snapped. This is really true. It is true. Who is he? Longzhu? Is he the ancestor of the dragon? How is this possible? For a time, countless arguments appeared. All of them are shocking to all that happened in front of us. It is the magic sense Xian and Chu Shanhai and so on, but also quietly retreat. The 4 people are like a heart and soul, and the tacit understanding stands together. The afterglow of Long Fei's eyes saw everything in his eyes, but he didn't say much, just the corner of his mouth, but it was a sneer. The next moment, Long Fei looked back and continued to look at the Dragon King. Rain you? I asked you just now, when you see why I'm not jealous. Are you not very arrogant? Don't you still want to kill Lousy? Isn't it a group that wants to kill Lousy? I will ask you, who will give you this courage? Longfei has a word. Every time I say a word, the body of the dragon ancestors will become more and more intense. Under the pressure of this breath, the Dragon King is constantly being pulled away from power. 30 feet, 20 feet, 3 feet, 2 feet. This is the time of several breaths, and the Dragon King directly turns into a loach. The dragon's dragon veins on the body also dissipated, not returning to me. That is my blood, my strength. Longzhu adults, return the power to me. I can shoot for you and kill them a few. Adult, please, Tian Long Wang constantly pleads. Even if he lost all his strength, he was still unwilling to squat on the ground and climb to Longfei a little. But Longfei is simply not moving. There is no change in expression on the face. Dragon family? If it is really a dragon, Longfei will naturally take care of it. However, if you dare to disobey yourself, you will never bear it. What's more, they're just the power left by Long Ba Tian in the world and left in this world. In general, it is just that Lombard is idle and boring. Although it belongs to the dragon family, Longfei does not have much sense of recognition. In addition, these people of the dragons dare to insult the horse and insult the Longfei. Only this point, there is no possibility of surviving. Beg for mercy? Before you swayed and sneered at Lousy, have you ever thought about it now? Get out of the mix, always have to pay back. I told him before, don't be too arrogant, useless. Give me death. Longfei thought of a move and screamed. Immediately, the strength of the body of the ancient dragon burst out. Puff! In an instant, only the Dragon King, which is less than a foot in size, suddenly collapsed between his body, turned into a fog. Hey, congratulations to the player. Dragonfly kills the Dragon King and gains 15 billion experience. Hey, congratulations to the player for getting a pass. A system beep appears. However, what is different from Longfei's thinking is that it is only like the Dragon King, which only brought him 15 billion years of experience. Nima, it seems that the system has begun to limit again. This Dragon King does not know how much stronger than the original Shiji Wang, but only gives such experience. Longfei said secretly in his heart. However, there is nothing to help. After all, this is the rules of the game. The stronger he is, the more times he explodes, and the less experience he gives. Longfei pressed down the depression in his heart and looked at another thing. Passing the ferry. System, view properties. Longfei said, hey, this item is not a mission item and cannot be viewed. A dragon flies. For the first time, something that the system can't see appears. I am Nima. Is this thing still a big deal? Can't even view the system? Longfei took the county magistrate in his hand and silenced it again. The next moment, this sensation makes the familiar atmosphere of the past disappear. Okay, it's him? Dragons have a relationship with him? Just for a moment, Longfei has already confirmed the origin of this so-called Tongxian order. Even if the system is not viewed, Longfei believes that his perception will never go wrong. This immortal command is all that will have appeared before. In other words, the dragon is enough to be involved with that person. In the thought of this, Longfei's heart is full of anger. Come here, Longfei shouted and called for a dragon to come. Greater people, Longzhu adults, I am surrendering you. Don't kill me. The dragon directly squats in front of Longfei, facing the will of Longfei, and directly lowers himself to the extreme. I ask you, where does this token come from? Longfei asked. Adult. This token is now exchanged between the ancestors of the Longzhu and a mysterious person. It is also because of this that we can enter this path of Tongxian. The dragon trembled and said, what is your mission? Longfei asked. Our task is to clean the people who enter Tongxian Road. The dragon said that he did not dare to hide anything. And Longfei, at this moment, the whole body is cold. When did the dragons become the running dogs of others? Sure enough, you are a dragon. The dragons of the ancient world were abused. I can't think of this world, too. Shouldn't Lao Tzu say that all of your descendants are scorpions? Long Fei thought to sink and said to the dragon scale in the system space. He didn't know if Long Beishan could hear it, but this sentence is deliberate. However, the dragon scale did not have any reaction, as if the dragon had completely disappeared since the last time it appeared in the sea. Upon seeing it, Long Fei didn't think much. After the return of the gods, he looked at the 12,000 dragons in front of him and took a step forward and said, "The dragons are proud and unparalleled. The sky is standing. Don't die." And you completely tarnished the title of the dragon. Today, in the name of my dragon flying, take the blood of your dragons. Do your best. Long Fei said coldly. In a word, the power of one Gulong suddenly broke out, and all the dragons at this moment, directly into the state of self-destruction, one by one, directly deprived of blood, and finally crushed into a group of blood fog, annihilating the void. Chapter 45:33. Chapter 45:33. Quietly silent. Long Fei shot and opened the game in seconds. In a few words, talking and laughing, the world is generally in the world, and the dragons are tens of thousands without any effort. At this moment, among the eyes of all people, there is only the word fear, nothing else. Too strong. In their eyes, the tyrannical dragons, that is, any of their sex, can feel the supreme pressure. But now, in the hands of Long Fei, it is gone. Moreover, there was no shot from beginning to end. Directly subverted their three views. After the dragon flew, Jima had already violently rushed, watching Long Fei say a word, and his heart was excited. Ha ha ha, master, it's just too strong. The past and the present. No one has ever been able to do it, and the tens of thousands of dragons have been destroyed. A group of hybrids who do not know the honor of the master dare to arrogate in front of the master and deserve to be destroyed. Jima said excitedly. The Long Fei on the side is also looking forward to standing next to Long Fei. From the appearance of Long Fei, he knew that all the big plans have been set. In his opinion, there is no such thing as Long Fei. And Long Fei, at this time, is still very indifferent. There is no slight emotional change on his face. Destroy the dragon, although he was hesitant in his heart. After all, in the end, he is the dragon. However, the dragon in front of him has already touched his reverse scale, only death. And with the 12,000 dragons being destroyed, the Dragonfly system interface, the number of killing missions for these 90,000 people began to change, becoming 55,000. Hey, congratulations to the player, Long Fei killing 12,000 people of the dragon and gaining experience 60 billion. The system sound reappears. Long Fei's heart was moved and he was shocked. He now has only 30 billion yuan of experience left in the upgrade. This time, the dragons have been eliminated and the experience has been upgraded enough. But now, Long Fei wants to suppress. Because the people in front of you are not weak. But he has already controlled the entire first battlefield. Everything is right and wrong. As for the upgrade of this multi-life anti-day operation, it was wasted at this time. It is really not doing. One thought about this. Long Fei said directly, "System, can you suppress the upgrade?" Hey, the host can choose to suppress the upgrade, and the experience that broke out will automatically be converted into experience Dan. Hey, the current experience of 60 billion can be turned into 2 experience Dan. Please host choice. Is it converted? The system sounds down. Conversion. Long Fei Dasong breathed a sigh of relief. The appearance of the dark road experience Dan is also really against the sky. Hey, 6 billion experience turns into 2 experience Dan. Hey, the player has 56 remaining experience, and the current repair can be engulfed by 20 per day. The system prompts you. Upon hearing this prompt, Long Fei's heart was relieved. However, during the transition, Long Fei looked around and looked at the opposite 4. Well, Chu Shanhai, now it's yours. Long Fei speaks a turn and goes straight to Chu Shanhai. Chu Shanhai's face changed. Dragon is right. Since you have a relationship with the dragons, you should know that my mountain high zone and the dragons are also very deep. And you entered this Tongshian road in the name of my mountain high zone. It should be reasonable. We should be consistent with the outside world. With you and me, I am on the road. Who is the enemy? Chu Shanhai said quickly. There is fear in the eyes. It seems that after seeing the dragon fly to kill the dragon, there is no courage to fight in the heart. Yes, Longfei, we are all from Shanhaizong. Now, we should cooperate well, not kill each other. Yes, the opportunity on Tongshian Road is heavy. There is a legend between you and me. This is the road to the ferry, and it is not the two of you. At this time, the disciple of Shan Haizong also said, the face is full of desire. I hope that Longfei can agree. Why? I want to take Laozi as a hitter. You also match? Longfei smiled coldly. Yes, a group of things that don't know how to be shameful. Didn't you still want to join forces to destroy us? How? Now, my master is coming one by one. Jima taunts. Dragon, I don't fight with you. I am not afraid of you, but for the sake of the overall situation. In addition, there is no grudge between you and me. Originally agreed with me, but this outside disciple behind you. A foreigner disciple in the district, even if he controls the Shanghai law, can't compare with my strength. You are a smart person. You should know how to choose, and you will not fall out with me because of a small foreign disciple. Chushanhai said again, his eyes are constantly flashing. However, I want to use a few words to send Longfei. Nothing is possible. So what? I want to kill you. Is it that you are uncomfortable? Do you have any opinion? Reassured, I will not bully you. Today I want to play for you. One can't run. When a murderous action, Longfei looked like a knife, looking at Chushanhai, Magic Sense Xian and others, cold and cold. It's too arrogant, boy. I have never seen such arrogance. Yes, it's just madness. Several people, since this kid is so dead, then we will fulfill him. I will not believe. We can't beat him. Suddenly, the Magic Sense Xian and the Blood Demon king violently, and the breath suddenly rose between them. Chu Shanhai and Zhang Tai Ling Xiu look at each other and focus on the head. Brush and brush. Suddenly, the four figures were directly separated into four parties, and the power surged to surround the dragon. Boss, I will help you. When Jima jumped, he rushed up. And I. Dragons will not retreat at this time, and the law of Shanghai is working. However, their figure has not been close to Longfei, and it was directly stopped by Longfei. No, I said that if I want to hit them four today, I won't let you do it. Longfei said faintly. A face is positive. Jima opened his mouth and wanted to say anything more, but he was stopped by Longfei. Do you still believe in your own master? Longfei said. After that, directly pull the Jima back to the side and hand over the battlefield to Longfei. Also at this time, a few people finally started. The body of the Blood Demon King is vertical, and the blood of the body is smothered. The blood of the sky rises from the endless world. Sulfuric space. Melt. The Blood Demon King shouted. As the blood color spread, Longfei's figure suddenly disappeared in the battlefield and was tolerated by the blood. Not only him, Chu Shanhai and other people are also wrapped in white blood. Directly shield everyone's sight. Under the Blood Demon King is incomparably mad. Ha ha ha. Feel the fear of death. Even if you are in the realm of realism, under this power, you have to take off your skin without dying. The Blood Demon King laughs. In this space, your strength will be limited, and I will wait. The damage will double, and you will die. You do it together, kill him, ask him to die. Chapter 45:34. Chapter 45:34. The blood is raging and the killing is full. For people at this moment, the roots of the killings. Shanghai Town. Destroy a knife. One side of the sword is breaking the world. The three men shot tightly. Under the bloodless curtain of the Blood Demon King, the power is even further. Dead. I don't know what is high and thick. If you're a single war, maybe we will all be guilty. But you are too arrogant. You have to fight one of us for Today you are not jealous of you we face. You can't live without it. Everything is over, you will die. Several people said while they shot. The hatred in the eyes is surging. And Long Fei, at this time, is not shocked in the eyes. Even if it is standing under this blood, there is no fluctuation. Restrict my strength. Moron, I'm afraid you don't know. This battlefield, Laozi is the master. Long Fei gently shook his head. Between walking, the power of creation is surging up and down the whole body, and the power of this blood curtain is not taken for granted. At this time, the power of several people finally fell. However, the picture as everyone thinks does not appear. Just as the moment of these powers fell on Long Fei, the whole blood curtain burst. Then, a chain of snow-like white bones descended from the sky, directly forming a white bone wall and the dragonfly to protect it. Hey! The chain collapsed, break into a piece. However, the power of several people also dissipated. And Long Fei, if nothing happens, walk ahead. Oh la la la. The chain is retracted, as if it had not appeared. It disappeared directly above the void. Is this your strength? Dish has been committed to Laozi's snoring. Long Fei said softly, stretching out and grabbing. A white mang flashes and falls from above the void. In the hands of Long Fei, there is a bone sword directly. The crystal is as jade, but it is fierce. A cold road ran over the sword. At this moment, several people changed instantly, especially the Blood Demon King. How can you not believe it? His blood curtain was instantly annihilated. In particular, he never saw Long Fei shot. Just for a moment, the endless white bone chain runs through the void and breaks the blood. The law of his blood demon is to control invincibility. Like the same field, you can increase your strength infinitely. As long as others are enveloped in a blood screen, you can kill each other. However, now his power is like a joke in front of Long Fei, and it is instantly destroyed. And he is personally, but he is being countered, directly bombarded by this blood curtain, and falls heavily on the void. Impossible! The blood curtain of the king is the law of the blood of the endless Holy Spirit, able to devour the spiritual power of man. How can you break it? The Blood Demon King is angry, endured the pain of the body, looking at Long Fei with a look of hatred. You dare to play in the field in front of Laozi. Didn't Laozi just say that, here, I am the master? Long Fei spoke. Then look around. Since all of you have already shot, then it is also my turn. A sword smashed out, and the dragon flew one step at a time, pushing the Blood Demon King. Do not. The Blood Demon King roared and struggled, but it didn't help at all. He himself has been seriously injured, and now he can hide under the dragon sword? Impossible. After all, the power of the skull sword is too great. The killing of life with countless powerful people is integrated into it. After the ages, it has been cultivated by Baigu Tianjun, dedicated to all the evil spirits of the demon. 50% of the damage bonus. Simply let the Blood Demon King, avoiding inevitable. Hey, boom! A sword directly penetrates the body of the Blood Demon King. You and I are not willing. The Blood Demon King drained blood, and the whole body was up and down, and the demon power was disordered. Under this sword, most of them were directly annihilated. It can be said that this sword has already smashed the Blood Demon King. Today, it is just the end of power. Struggling. I am not willing. How can you be unwilling? When you set foot on Tongxian Road, this is already doomed. Long Fei said indifferently, no, you can't kill me. If you kill me, that one will definitely kill you. I'm doing things for the grown-up. If you dare to kill me, you will die without a place to die. This Tongxian Road is where the adults let us in. If you dare to kill me, you will die. The Blood Demon King said crazy. And Long Fei, also at this moment, fell silent. A shock in my heart. For the adults mentioned in the Blood Demon King, Long Fei has already guessed who it is. Unsurprisingly, like the Dragon King, he was commanded by the Master of the Will behind the scene of Tongxian Road and entered Tongxian Road. Abolished such a large means. The dragons and the Yaozu are all involved to clean up the people who entered the world of Tongxian. With this time, it's automatic, and the whole world can crash several times. What are you trying to figure out? Long Fei thought of it. My eyes are small, and this scene fell in the eyes of the Blood Demon King, but thought that Long Fei was afraid. Immediately laughed. How? I am afraid. Since I am afraid, I will go and go now. Then break your arm. Maybe I will plead with the adults and give you a dog's life. Blood Demon King said. Long Fei has never heard of it. The mind is gradually turning. Tang Nima, you don't know what I want. But Laozi's road is to overturn this Tongxian road. Whoever blocks the road, who will do it? The mind will definitely be. Long Fei will look at the Blood Demon King. Why are you afraid of brain damage? Are you afraid? There is no such word in Laozi's dictionary. Don't talk about the adults in your mouth. Even if you're the master of Tongxian Road, Lao Tzu is the same. Kill it. Dead. In a word, Long Fei's sword in his hand turned, and the white bone sword directly cut the body of the Blood Demon King and completely obliterated it. The Blood Demon King did not understand. Why did Long Fei say killing and killing? At this moment, with the death of the Blood Demon King, the remaining few people did not dare to stay. Directly push away. Kill. You are all on. Dragon has 3 of us to contain. You go to kill the 2 people. Yes, as long as the dragon is distracted, we have hope. The 3 people in Chushanhai said one after another. At this moment, they are really scared. Especially in Chushanhai, the eyes are full of hate. Because at the beginning of the Mountain High Zone, but also want to compete with Long Fei, but also boasted Haikao, said Long Fei is a jumping clown. But now, Long Fei kills 2 people, and it is hard to force them to shoot. He only knew that from the beginning to the end, he was in the eyes of Long Fei, but it was a joke. Therefore, it is only possible to contain Long Fei by 2 other people. At this time, Long Fei's eyes were also turned around. Looking at the 3 people, the corner of the mouth was picked. Run off. I have said that I have been the master of this world. On my home court, do you still want to run? There is no such thing. Endless bones out. Chapter 45:35. Chapter 45:35. Boom. With one order, the entire first battlefield, roaring again. Rumble. In an instant, the heavens and the earth trembled and the space trembled. It seems that there are countless creatures stepping on. What happened? Don't this space be destroyed? What happened? What are you going to do? This momentary change, the clouds are sweeping. Everyone's hearts are full of endless haze, shocked with panic, eyes constantly looking around. At this time, the 3 people of Chushanhai, who are plundering in the distance, are returning again. A look pale. No, this is impossible. The endless white bones, the bones are like the sea. How do you do it? Dragon, don't you really want to kill? One person is full of infinite shock, and as several people fell, the endless bones finally came. Rumble, rumble. Just a few breaths. The endless white bone directly covered the dome. The sky is vast and endless. Overwhelming. All are the shadow of the bones. Even there are countless bones cohesive, jumping up and down. It is more than the hearts of everyone. Terrible. God, so many bones. Is he a devil? He wants to leave us all. No, I don't want to die. Brother, kill him. He is just a person. All 3 of you are supreme. And there is a reward for this fairy road. You don't have to be afraid of him. Yes, I feel the mysterious demon. You have also got the artifact. This is the reward of Tongxian Road. And soon he is gone. Sister, are you not bringing the mysterious holy water in my mountain gate? Use it. Life is important. Suddenly, everyone else said, and began to pray for the strongest sect, eager for them to shoot. Now, they're still not clear. All of this is due to the emergence of Long Fei. Only after the dragonfly, everything can be restored. Yes, their words, listening to the ears of Chu Shanhai and others, is another taste. Suddenly, the 3 eyes gathered. Chu Shan see cold, and cold looked to Long Fei. Dragonfly, is it really necessary to kill the net? You have heard it, and we are in control of the soldiers. If you really live and die, you can't get any benefit. Chushanhai said quietly, a look of gloom. At the moment, for Long Fei, he is completely weak. Too strong. Strong enough not at all. Being proud of him, he can only whisper. As for the immortal token, he didn't want to use it at all. What he wants is the opportunity to take advantage of the opportunity on Tongxian Road. Only then will he have the opportunity to wash the humiliation of today. As for the magic sense, this time is also the dignity of face. Very heavy. The magic in the eyes is focused into a little light all over the pupil, and the whole eye has become a dark, magical surging. Long Fei, really, we don't have to. Continue to do it. It is not good for anyone. Our purpose is to take the opportunity on Tongxian Road. And above this battlefield that has not yet been said, how can we enter the next battlefield? It's better for us to wait for the other party to say it, than watch the war and not fight. How? Said the magic sense. The voice is hoarse, as the same demon is in the air. It can be seen that at this time, there is much humiliation in the heart. On the other hand, Zhan Tai Ling Xiu is also smiling, making a self-confident expression. Long Fei brother, in fact, the younger sister thinks so. We don't have to fight at all. Zhan Tai Ling Xiu said that the dagger was in a pose, intentionally or unintentionally, and also sent a yellow wave to Long Fei. Oh, why? Now I feel that there is no need to fight between life and death. I don't care about it. I have killed 9 of the top 10 legends of Shanghai Zone. I have also won 9 of the top 10 towns of the Dark Emperor. And you're on the water side, the gimmick of your lord, and I am slamming and dying. There are these deep hatreds. Can you let go? Long Fei's face was sardonic, and he spoke in a word. In an instant, I saw 3 people's emotions on their faces, especially the magical mystery. When I heard that Long Fei said that I had smashed 9 magical roads, the eyes were like burning, and the dark pupils flashed magic light. Even a long knife in his hand began to cast a layer of magic. Obviously, it has already moved. Long Fei's eyes are also a move, and the sorcerer's sword shines in his hand. However, what makes Long Fei unexpected is that at this moment, the anger of the magical, mysterious body disappears instantly and is forced to suppress. I rely on, is this smashed? It's too boring. Long Fei heart in the belly. Well, there's also the existence of the earthquake on the mainland. I didn't even think so. Originally, I thought that some words would be irritating and the 3 would be angry, and then I will shoot again and get twice the result with half the effort. After all, a person will be irrational under the support of anger. It's easier to kill them when they are. Unexpectedly, a few people are too indifferent, and the stimulation of Long Fei is not at all in mind. Yes, even if this is the case, Long Fei will never let them go. Or when they entered this first battlefield, the result, Long Fei has already judged his fate. In the face of the absolute strong, the dead, after all, is only the whetstone on the road. The Dragon Brother does not have to care. There are so few things in the world, that is, there are many people. When they die, there will naturally be people who will fill their positions. I will not anger my brother because of their death. Chu Shanhai said, extrusion to a smile that is more ugly than crying. Yeah, the weak meat is strong, the strong is the respect. This is the world, the brothers are repaired to heaven, let alone kill them. Even if they destroy the entire mainland, they are also dead. Zhan Tai Ling Xiu said. When I heard the words of 2 people, Long Fei smiled. Ha ha ha. Good. A strong person is respected. The weak meat is strong. A good person who kills the whole continent is also the place where they die. Since you all said this, don't kill you. Are you too sorry for me? Long Fei laughed and suddenly turned around. The next moment, the demon's sword was in the hand and slammed down towards the Chushan Sea. Hey! A sword attacked. The body of Chu Shanhai was directly smashed by a dragon and a sword, and the entire chest was smashed, and a sword was shocking. You dragon, you are mean. The Chushan Sea is extremely angry. I did not expect it at all. Long Fei said that he shot. Dragon, don't you think that we are justified? Why do you want to shoot? Zhantai Ling Xiao stunned and said, and Long Fei, but he played with the bone sword in his hand, did not take it for granted. Yes, it's because you said it makes sense. I want to kill you. Now I'm stronger than you, and I'm still a life and death enemy. What reason can I let you go? As for what is said, the opportunity on Tongxian Road. Long Fei voice turned, his eyes locked in the void, directly said, sorry, I am not rare. Chapter 4536. Chapter 4536 for Tongxian Road, Long Fei has long been known. Where's the chance? It's a conspiracy. Still want a chance? Non-existent. Long Fei, so to speak, today is not good enough. Don't you be afraid of your brother and this person who pretends to be you? While you are strong, but the three of us, the two together, is enough to contain you. When the other person carries the 2,000 people, it is easy to kill them. Do you really ignore their lives and deaths? Chu Shanhai said, and then the voice fell. The magic sense Xian and Zhantai Ling Xiao also stepped forward. The three stood together. Obviously, it has already been seen, and Long Fei has never let go of their plans. Especially Zhantai Ling Xiao. The charming appearance on his face disappeared directly. Instead, only endless cold. And Long Fei, in the face of all this, is not a slight change. A few people are ignorant people, and everything they say is for themselves. As for what they said about the construction of horses and Long Fei would not care. Not to mention whether they have this ability. It is simpler than people, and it is a joke in front of Long Fei. The entire first battlefield was under his control. The endless white bones were his soldiers, and they did not destroy the bones. Whether it is more than quantity or higher-end combat power, the disparity between the two sides is very high. One thought about this. Long Fei said directly, what do you mean, you have more people? Are you arrogant? I want to rely on human tactics to let lousy yield. Long Fei sounds cold and indifferent. You said it is good. Although they are not high, they're all elites. There are also people who have been repaired to the lowest, and so many people are enough to kill this animal. If you take care of them, then you will stop now. Wait until we get the final instructions. Chu Shanhai said, as soon as the statement is made, the magic sense Xian also directly agrees. Yes, as long as Chu Shanhai can restrain your tea time, this seat has confidence and kills this person. Do you dare to gamble? Chu Shanhai hated and said, full of threats, and Long Fei, but constantly shaking his head. Too naive. Is there a word that I have heard obediently? There is more waste, and it is just a bunch of waste. Do you think that with them, can you really pose a threat to the construction of horses? Non-existent. Long Fei did not disguise the sarcasm, and then the voice was another turn. And do you really think that you have a lot of people? Long Fei asked one sentence, and then, in the exquisiteness of several disciples, his hands were lifted. There will be no bones and hundreds of millions of soldiers. Take them all to me. Refers to the day of the order, the heroic shock. And as the dragon's voice fell, above the dome, the endless white bone began to merge quickly. Just a time of breathing, countless cockroaches come together. Boom, boom. The dying of the bones, the endless white bones roared above the bones of the sea, and seemed to wait until the dragon flew and began to kill. On the other hand, the division will not reinforce the bones. They were blasted by the dragon before. However, after Long Fei became the master of the white bone throne, he understood. As long as the bones are there, they can gather infinitely. Of course, Baigu Tianjun is an accident. As the enemy of Long Fei, death is the only result. At this time, the monks of the Tongxian continent above the entire battlefield were completely rioted. Whether it is Shan Haizong, the Dark Emperor is still on the water side, or the Yaozu. No one can stay calm. At this moment, with the arrival of countless white bones, they finally know. Why did Long Fei say that he is the master of this battlefield? Take control of this big bone army? Who dares not to accept? Can't you give in? Don't fly to the adults. Don't kill me. I surrender. Yes, we recognize you are the master. Don't kill us. Just let us go. After we walk out of Tongxian Road, we are willing to be your own and become your most loyal dog. In front of life and death. What is the righteousness of the sect? What is right and evil? All thrown behind them. But begging for mercy is not going to work here at Longfei. They have already been on the Longfei task list. Therefore, for their petition and pleading at this time, Longfei was indifferent, and he waved his sword in his hand. Rumble. The endless white bone army swooped down directly, such as the Milky Way, and filled the entire earth in an instant. Suddenly, mourning, crying filled the whole world. And Longfei, then Yang Jian, will lock his eyes to Chushanhai. Now, it's your turn. Kill. Longfei has no patience to continue to consume. Everything I did before was to give enough desperation to a few people. For that, it is to pull hatred. Otherwise, Longfei is really afraid that a few people will control what he does not know and get out of it. After all, the Tianlong King and the Blood Demon King are all related to that person. However, the means previously obtained by the two were also given by the man. At this time, hatred is spread to several people. It is enough to make them lose their minds. Good. Since you don't want to stop, fight. I don't believe if you wait, you are really invincible. The Chushan Sea was drunk, and the fierce light in his eyes was revealed. The next moment, the shadow of the mountains and seas appeared directly behind him. Shanghai town, boom. The mountains and seas were covered, and the weather was directly suppressed. The magic sense Xian was not idle at this time, and a knife in his hand moved. Life magic knife, hey, rumble. A knife, empty the world. The infinite magical power spread directly, and even the endless sea of bones was swept away by this magical power. At this time, Zhantai Lingxiu also abandoned the long sword in his hand and turned to a jade bottle. The water of Xiantian, clear the world. Zhantai Lingxiu Jiao sighed and pulled a drop of mercury like water from the jade bottle. Wave, the water droplets fluctuate, and at the moment of dripping onto the void, there's an infinite stream of light suddenly. Brush, shining light, directly wash the world. Like the dirt, countless demons and bones, under this power, directly turned into ashes. It is Longfei. Under this power, I feel the body is tight. It seems to be split, and the pain is very high. However, this power, if it is before, Longfei may only have to upgrade a road. But now it's useless. Give it to me. With a sigh, Longfei followed a sword and waved it out with a sword. Booming. In the hands of the dragon, the demon's sword broke out with incomparable violent temper, and the killing of the road came out. Rumble. For a moment, between the whole world, Longfei's long sword directly resolved the attacks of several people. Hey! Unsurprisingly, the three bodies jerked back, and Longfei, also at this time, retired hundreds of feet away. But the body is still stabilizing above the void, once again falling 3 scorpions. Mom, the system, this time I can only rely on you. Otherwise, Laozi's plan has to be broken. Longfei's eyes were condensed, and the long sword in the handshake was secretly praying in his heart. The next moment, a knife is thrown out. Boom! The swordsmanship is skyrocketing, and in this moment of the swordsman's vertical and horizontal, the figure seems to condense out in this killing, with infinite resentment, rushing to the sky. Ding! Chapter 45:37. Chapter 45:37. Hey, congratulations to the player. To trigger the demon sword will kill a sword. Jintian. The system sounds quietly, and as the system sounds down, Longfei has a sword. Jianguang condenses the truth, directly blasting the sky across the 9 miles. At the same time, countless strong figures flashed in the sword light. Even if nothing is nothing, it is incomparably true. Boom! All of a sudden, a sword roared out and was unstoppable. The real Buddha blocks the Buddha, and God blocks the killing of God. Boom! A sword was thrown out, and the three men's supreme killings were forced. And this time, they're not as simple as regressing. Hey, three bodies fly straight out. Rumble. Drop directly into the endless sea of bones. Under the sword, all three were seriously injured. Not dead, shouldn't it? System. Say good, kill. This sword will touch you. How to say, you can kill one person. But now, the three people are just seriously injured, making Long Fei's heart very unhappy. Hey, the town is a single sword. The system gives a rude sentence. It seems to be ridiculing Long Fei, not knowing what to do. A single skill, it is good to be able to seriously hurt three people, but also want to kill. Nima, Long Fei spit a sentence. I feel that my IQ has received an insult. But in front of the system, he is really helpless. But after turning around, Long Fei looked at the three people who had been seriously injured. The corner of his mouth was picked. Hey, you are sick. You must die. Small bones, lock them. At this time, Long Fei said fiercely, "Oh, la la la." For a moment, the throne of the white bone emerged above the void, and the chain of white bones hangs down. In an instant, they whizzed toward the three people. The three faces changed. At this moment, they had been deeply injured and unable to resist. Hey, the white bones are worn, and they are entangled in an instant. Like a viper, they bind a few people in a circle. No, do not want. Dragon, I haven't broken him through the road. You can't kill me. Otherwise, the owner of Tongxian Road will kill you. At this moment, Chu Shanhai also said with anger. Even the words connecting the masters of Xianlu have been said. And Long Fei, his eyes are even more indifferent at this time. Sure enough, Laozi has long guessed that you have collusion with your dog. However, you are really jealous of him. Even if he appears now, he can't save you. If the man wants to kill, even if it is really a fairy, it is also a kill. Cut! Angrily screamed. Long Fei kills a glimpse, and the sword is thrown out. Puff! Under the lock of the white bone chain, Chushanhai is the fish on the cutting board, letting the dragon fly to slaughter, a sword crossed, directly piercing the chest. Hey! At this moment, the shadow of the mountains and seas behind the Chushan Sea is also an instant burst. However, at this time, the change suddenly occurred. The Chushan Sea, which should have died and turned into a corpse, turned directly into a streamer. Then, above the void, the figure of Chu Shanhai once again condensed. Undead token. Long Fei's eyes are tight. At this moment, I still don't understand. Chu Shanhai used his own immortal token to avoid death. Long Fei, very good. Wait, I'm forced to use a chance to die. The next time, I will smash you in the Tongxian Ranch. Wash today's shame. Chushanhai sounds indifferent, and the figure condenses above the void. Then recondense the shadow of the mountains and seas and jump between them. Small bone, Long Fei shouted. The next moment, a white chain directly flies out of a chain, walks through the air, and goes straight to the Chushan Sea. Hey, the white bone chain is very incomparable, and the blazing white light shines on the horizon, directly into the 9 miles. But just in time, above the void, a figure directly tears the void and finds a hand from it. Hold the chain in your hand. On your own point of view, I still want to break free of my control. Do you dare to disobey my will? A group of people who don't know what to do, whether you are someone on an isolated island, this time, you have to die. A sly voice, wrapped in the supreme pressure, fell heavily. For a moment, Long Fei only felt above his own soul, just like the sky. It's all black in front of you. At the crucial moment, the power of eternal life runs automatically, and the eternal life suddenly starts, and the dragonfly is waking up under this pressure. For a moment, Long Fei was full of fear. The duck that arrived at it flew like this. How can Long Fei be reconciled? The things that hide the tail and tail, if you really have this ability, use the cloth so big. If you haven't guessed wrong, these two people should also be your dog legs. A big lie to clear the people of the mainland and then raise a few dogs. In the end, it's just that you don't have this ability. Come on, don't you say that Laozi will die. Lousy is standing here today to see how you kill. Longface screamed. Although this figure is arrogant, from the beginning to the end, I dare not show people in the true body. Don't think about it. You must have your own concerns. That is to say, on this mainland, there are enough people who threaten him to exist. It is precisely because of this that Longfei will be so unscrupulous. Hey, a waste dare to yell in front of me. What about the control of the first battlefield? The old man will let you know that your white bones are not in the eyes of my eyes. Today, you will annihilate your white bones directly. There is no God. You are out. Above the void, the figure screamed. Immediately, the entire sky was directly pulled apart by a huge gap. And with the appearance of this gap, the ghosts that are visible to the naked eye, the inexhaustible atmosphere of the inexhaustible, come. This kind of breath, sorrow, ghost, evil spirit. There are even endless resentments and killings. Confused together, it makes people feel cold. What is even more terrifying is that with the appearance of this breath, Longfei actually feels a kind of fear in the small bones. Yes, it is fear. It's like saying this kind of breath is his nemesis. Master, they are. The souls of these bones were unexpectedly all detained. It was refining into a monster like this. With them, my white bones have nothing to use, said Xiao Xiao. The sound was transmitted to Longfei, and there was trembling in the voice. Do you really think that by your means, can you be arrogant in front of me? Since you are looking for death yourself, then today, I am as you wish. Destroy you. The ancient world is no one can shoulder the power of one world, when the ancient world perished. Today is your death. Above the void, the figure said coldly. After that, after a roll of hands, directly cut off the white bone chain and bring the magic sense Xian and Zhan Tai Ling Xiao to the void. Then he directly tore the void, pushed the three into it, and then turned back and said, after today, there is no first battlefield in the world. Similarly, in the Wanjia, when I return, the Dragon Court will be destroyed, the Phoenix Valley will dissipate, and the ancient world will become dust. Any rebellion against me will be a death. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.